It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get it higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego the politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àníyàn sọ́ra jù.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Mayegun live. Thank you so much for joining me. As you are joining, please read beyond the caption of this broadcast. Just take a moment and read the description as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell all of them that Mayegun today, Mayegun is here. And thank you if you have done that already. Tonight, we have interesting topics, including, events taking place in that contraption, even outside the contraption as well. Yes, we are starting with the approval of the recent loan request. It's called Fresh Loan. Just a quarter to the end of 2024, thiefnubu, who has already overspent the approved budget of 2024, has gotten an approval again to borrow another 1.7 trillion naira. There is no clarity to what the money is meant for, or which of the sector of your economy the money is going to be spent on. But I am not surprised, and I bet a lot of you, the Templars, you are not surprised too. The National Assembly of Nigeria is a repository of the society relic, criminals, the assemblage of rogues that are pretty much good as a rubber stamp, a rubber band. For thiefnubu, from the days of Bokwari, the National Assembly of Nigeria has been a rubber stamp to whatever request the executive, brought to them, and it is not changing. The only thing is that they have succeeded in dipping the present Nigerians and the generations yet unborn into an everlasting, perpetual poverty, indebtedness, that nobody can actually pinpoint what some of the loans, especially the loans collected by thiefnubu, what they've used the loan for. So it's always been loans and debt, and with no clear objectives rather, for what they are using these loans for. And they don't even care. So this afternoon, the House of Representatives, they were the first to give their approval, because we have a long night. So let's get down to it as quick as possible. The House of Representatives giving their approval to the $2.209 billion dollars, equivalent of 1.767 trillion naira fresh loan.
It was laid on Thursday, 24th November 2024. Honorable Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba will move for his consideration.
Honorable Awas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba, ON Sadokin Lafia is my name. I represent the good people of Awedo Makana Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I am from Nasarawa State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for the consideration of the report of the House that the House do consider the report of Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on request for approval for the implementation of the new external borrowings of 1,767,321,777 naira 0 kobo, which is equivalent to 2,209,000,000 in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobonds and other sources, and approve recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Deputy Chair, please.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Architect Larry Okola. I represent the wonderful people of Surulere 2 Federal Constituency and from Lagos State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my chairman for the consideration of the report. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Before I call on the leader, let me make some announcements. One is an omission to recognize students from was laid on Thursday.
That's it. And I was at the House of Representatives. So the report was considered and approved. Koolu can go ahead and borrow a fresh 1.7 trillion naira. As for the Senate, who started the conversation, here is their own approval. Same afternoon today.
Equivalent to
Why there's this report that the IPOB and the supposed House leader, right? They had a fight. Yeah, they had a fight yesterday, and it was a physical one. And somehow, that person who reported it said that they were not going to show up at the National Assembly today. And indeed, they didn't show up. Here, their own approval of the $2.2 billion loan, 1.7 trillion naira.
equivalent to $2.209 billion at 800 naira US dollar exchange rate will be raised from Eurobonds, sovereign sukuk, and syndicated loans. Prioritizing of Eurobond issuance up to approved amount. 3. Utilizing funds for exchange rate adjustment of 1,740 naira to US dollar for critical capital projects. 4. Issue promissory notes and bonds to settle federal government liabilities and minimize debt servicing costs. 5. Authorizing the Minister of Finance and Debt Management Office to execute this resolution. In conclusion, Mr. President, the committee urges the Senate to approve this request to enable the effective financing of 2024 budget and support Nigeria's long-term economic growth. To this end, I thank the leadership in the entire Senate for the competence they asked to process this request. I so submit for consideration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Chairman of the Committee of Local and Foreign Debt. The floor is yielded. You don't have the copy of the report?
We all have.
Please give him a copy of the report. So the floor is open for anyone that wants to make any observation. But the report is very straightforward, except if you have one or two observations to make. Mr. Chairman, you've done a wonderful job. Mr. Chairman, your job is, you've done a wonderful job. Wonderful job. But if anybody has any observation, do you have any observation? You don't have. Anyone against the report? Okay. Those in favor of the report as submitted by the chairman, Local and foreign there, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
Senator Benson. Senator Benson, take your seat. Senator Pasui. Senator Benson and Senator Alindume, take your seat. Senator Habib, take your seat.
So,
Senator Pasui.
Let me, order, please.
Order,
let
please.
me commend the chairman.
Senator Manu, take your seat.
Order, please. Thank you, Chief Whip, for restoring order to the Senate. Let me, on this note, commend the chairman of the committee, the Selection Yama of South Porto, and members of the committee for a job well done. The report is indeed well packaged and well properly articulated. Consider the fact that the job they had to do took them just 24 hours. This should have been something that would have taken longer time. They show sacrifice. You show sacrifice for the interest of the country by working around the clock to make sure that you get everything done, and not only done but properly done. So we thank you very much, members of the committee. The chairman, you have done a wonderful job. Thank you very much.
And that's it. That was how thiefnubu got his approval. Thiefnubu has been in, thiefnubu and his gang, they have been in government now for 18 months. That is 1 year, 6 months. And throughout this period, thiefnubu and his gang, they have not been able to attract any real substantial investment to Nigeria. For these 18 months, if their custom is not claiming to have made trillions, 5 trillion, 2 trillion, 7 trillion, Nigeria Customs always declare that they have been making trillions of naira in revenue. Thiefnubu and his gang also claimed to have saved trillions of naira from the subsidy removal. But no one has been able to put all this together and save Nigeria from taking ridiculous loans with ridiculous conditions. On the last count, they claimed, according to their customs, in the last 7-8 months altogether, they have generated over 9 trillion naira. Just in the last 9 months, max, 9 months. And if you check what the supposed deficit in Nigeria's 2024 budget, what that was is 9.1 trillion naira, according to them. When they wrote the budget, they said the revenue that they expected to generate, as well as the taxes, which is revenue. So they were going to be short of 9.1 or 9-point-something trillion naira. But this last 9 months, the customs alone claimed to have generated more than 9 trillion naira. The subsidy removal claimed by these rogues that they have also saved, according to them, they have saved 11 trillion naira from subsidy removal. That should be like 20 trillion naira. But guess what? These criminals, thiefnubu and his gang, they have printed over 20 trillion naira in the last 1 year alone. That's like in the last 11, 12 months. You heard me right. These same rogues, they have borrowed, and on the last count, 3.3 billion, 4.8 billion. If you use the current exchange rates, it simply means that they have borrowed over 15 trillion naira. All these trillion, billion, billions, where is the money? And this is just a quarter to end of the year. Somehow, they want an extra 1.77 trillion naira. And it is not attached to anything. Nothing. They are looking for loans that, according to them, to revive the economy. Which part of the economy? Atiku could put a pen to paper. Abina put a phone to tweets, and he wrote. The recent report released by the World Bank showing Nigeria as the third most indebted country to the International Development Association, IDA. You see, that International Development Association is a program. It's like a sort of a program put together by the World Bank for the world poorest countries. In 1969 or thereabout, Nigeria opted out of that group of the poorest countries. And by the end of 1999, Nigeria was back into it. Again, when Obasanjo pleaded for the debt forgiveness for Nigeria, Nigeria opted out of that IDA. It is so ridiculous that the top countries in that category, they have been India, Singapore, Bangladesh, Pakistan. But Singapore is no longer in that category. Nigeria is back in there. And here is what Atiku wrote. So this report is coming just when the government has already sent a proposal to the National Assembly signaling an intention to borrow an additional 1.7 trillion. So what makes this particular loan proposal even more concerning is that it is benchmarked at the exchange rate of 800 naira. This is the GBTO. According to them, this loan that they want to take, they are using the benchmark of 800 naira to $1. In the budgets of 2025 they sent in, they are using the benchmark of 1,400 naira to $1. But in reality, the exchange rate in Nigeria is currently at 1,740 naira minimum. That's the official 1,740 naira to $1. Thiefnubu. However, Nigeria is sinking further into debt, and the National Assembly has become an accomplice once more. In July this year, Tinubu boasted that the FIRS and customs under his watch had collected all-time high revenues to finance the budget. Why are they still borrowing? There is something that they are not telling Nigerians, even as they are being crushed by a combination of their failed trial and error policies and loan rackets. So Tinubu's loans are bone-crushing to Nigerians and bringing insufferable pressure on the economy, especially when they are not properly negotiated and utilized. It is concerning that the voracious appetite for these humongous loans is powered by corruption and not for infrastructure and development needs. A report by Budget, a budget watchdog, has disclosed that the 2024 budget is a mess because of the level of pork associated with it. I feel a sense of personal agony, seeing that just a few years after the administration of Obasanjo took our country out of foreign indebtedness, we are today back at the top spot in the same conundrum. It is time to apply more caution and arithmetic to the loan frenzy and advise that Tinubu and his gang quickly brushed aside. They continue to lie to millions of gullible Nigerians. And the question you should be asking is that, yeah, you may say loan is not bad, or you have the right to know what they are using the loan for. Like, what are you going to use the loan for? What have you used the ones you took for? Because thiefnubu and his gang continue to strangulate you economically. They mandated the customs, okay, to increase their tariff. Nigeria is an import-dependent country where almost 80% of what Nigerians uses in Nigeria, they are imported. Then the customs chooses to increase the tariff enough that majority of you today are battling with the cost of living crisis, where you can no longer afford what normally, I mean, today in Nigeria, if I put it back, let's say in 2022, if you are earning 300,000 naira a month in 2022, and you are earning 3 million naira today in that contraption, if you are earning 300,000 naira in, let's say, for example, in 2014, this was like about 10 years ago, and you are earning 3 million naira today, 300,000 naira in 2014 is far more than the 3 million naira today. And a lot of people who currently possibly earn more than what they have been earning, what they were earning before, can no longer afford what they used to be able to afford in thiefnubu-nomic. So the IMF woman, Georgieva or something, I think her name is Georgieva, met with a thiefnubu in Brazil. She is the director of IMF. The people who have been giving Nigeria short loans and horrible conditions that have continued to impoverish Nigerians, destroy businesses. Just last week, the same IMF released the report that thiefnubu's economic policies are not working in that contraption. But this woman met with a Koolu, and she categorically told him that your policies are great, the people should endure more, and we will support you in what you are doing. And immediately she said that on her Twitter. What happened next? thiefnubu and his gang, they decided to milk it by saying that all of us complaining, all of us pointing out this failing illegitimate regime, we're just bad belly people. Because according to IMF, thiefnubu's policies, they are working. They will take time. Yeah? Was it not last month, in October, that one Indian, who happened to be the most indebted country in the world right now, India. Indians have also lost so much of their own supposed foreign reserve. I don't know if you have heard about that. Yeah, they are so close with Nigeria in a way, in this poverty index and all that, right? So there was this guy who said Nigerians will have to wait for another between 10 and 15 years before they can begin to enjoy thiefnubu's reform. So the IMF, which for so many reasons have been proven to be the enemies of developing countries, so good at impoverishing these developing countries, especially Africa. Their policies have been policies that Africans should devalue their currencies and sell their resources cheaper to whoever they choose them to sell them to. Why millions of Africans can continue to wallow in abject generational poverty. So they have been milking this picture, among others, to remind the Nigerians that whatever it is you are going through right now, you are still going to enjoy it, in years to come. IMF. I've had people who have said, if Nigeria was a real country, they should be finding ways of paying off whatever loan IMF has given to them, World Bank, and chase them out of Nigeria, Africa generally. But the despots, criminals in power in Africa, they are comfortable with this free money, since they can reloot the money Okay? And then they use their own people as collaterals. Yesterday, we had a shot at the Nigeria Custom and the Nigeria Police. Their corruption, endemic corruption, and endangering the lives of the people with their collaboration with different smugglers. And I said something about the smugglers, the custom officers' wives, who are also the top dealers in the smuggled rice into Nigeria. Somebody called into a program this morning rather. And he just said the exact thing that we shared on this platform last night. I am going to share that with us again this evening. Let's take a look.
There is a customs lady I used to buy foreign rice from. I think she used to smuggle the rice. And I think during this Buhari era, the reason she gave me for not selling the rice anymore was that they now appointed one person. It's just only one person who was now given the right to smuggle rice. Both the politicians and the custom in Abuja appointed just one person in Lagos through this local border here. So that one person. So the man can come with 100 trailers of rice, and he will have a triumphal entry. Then any other person they catch with one bag of rice, that person is in a serious trouble. Okay? So that's actually the way they were administering the rice smuggling. It became a crime that was legit.
Auntie Joyce, every rice you see enter Lagos pay a duty to custom. If he did not pay duty, if he moves, then get you, they will burn your motor and burn your rice. Rice is very cheap at Seme border. Rice is very cheap. It's to bring it to Lagos, to bring it to Nigeria. Motor will line, over 200 motor will line. Firewall. Their gate man, that is fireworks. Your guys will go to office, to custom office. Each motor is 200,000 naira. Times over 200 motors, they will pay to them. They will give you pass. When you now pass from Bachi, you go to Agbara custom, you park again. You go to the office and pay duty again. Over 200,000, they will not give you pass. Do you know what pay me most? When we now flood the rice at Alabarago is a depot. When we flood the rice here, the bookie they will buy. Other Nigerians, other Lagosians will not come to Alabarago to buy. Do you know what it first? Custom will not still go to my two at Abuja and go and park. Anybody that buy rice from Alabarago, they will still go and seize the rice. They will still seize the rice from the common people that want to go and buy from Alabarago. They don't go to Semeo. Oh. They don't go to Semeo. They want to buy from Alabarago. They will still go to my under free trade fair. They wait at under free trade fair. Abuja, Alaki, and my two. They will seize the rice from them. They will return it to their wives. Carry some to Ikeja. That's what we are suffering in this APC government, Ati Joyce. What I'm telling you, come and investigate what is happening. The people will cost on sea with about one bag of rice at under bridge, they will carry it. And then the same rice have already paid duty. Over 200,000 each motor. To them, come and see your customer living large. They are sleeping in a hotel of 50,000 a day. All of them get one suit, all of them. I can mention the hotel for you. It's my line. I have mentioned my name to you. They will be carrying people who enjoy living large. Living large. People are suffering. Rice is very, very cheap at Aseme. The best rice at Aseme is 82,000 naira. The best rice. The one that you can manage is 65,000. 60,000. But you bring it to Lagos. When you bring it, you pay duty. They will still come and seize it on the way. When people go and buy from Alabarago, and they cannot go to Alabarago and seize that rice. Because they know say, it's our people that is here. If you try it, I know their life will end.
Wives of custom officers are some, if not all, of the big-time dealers of smuggled rice you'll find in town. They own some, if not all, the big-time dealers of smuggled rice you'll find in town. You say they own some, if not most, of the super warehouses you see in and around Seme border and Owode Iroko, housing large quantities of rice seized by their husbands and, of course, smuggled ones. The ban only made rice to attain the status of cocaine in the open market, making us to buy it at cutthroat prices. Christmas is approaching, a windfall for custom officers' wives selling rice in their homes.
Joyce, I don't really believe in this word, smuggling. The word smuggling, it hit my head like somebody conked my head, like I am being brought down. You say it's smuggling, you call it smuggling. The one you have in Nigeria, the Ofada, the Abakaleke from my place, is not enough. The ones from Zamfara and from other parts of the north is not enough for us to use in this country. And then you are calling the one that is coming from abroad smuggling. In short, I don't just believe in that smuggling.
The other day, there was a little thing that happened, and I just, okay, let me go for foreign rice. And I went to two places where our brothers Igbo guys were selling rice. They told me they don't have. They directed me to one woman. I got to that woman's place, a young lady for that matter. You know what she told me? She said, any brand of foreign rice that you want, I have it. And anytime you need it, you come here and I will have it in my area. You know the question, how come that this young lady is the one selling? Our shop had a pile of bags of rice, all foreign. You see, the problem we are having is that I tell myself something this morning. It takes a criminal to hide the identity of a criminal. It takes, anybody that is into any dubious business to hide people that are into dubious business and succeed. I had a man from my state, my village to be precise, who just joined the customs. And within 6 months from SS3, he finished. He didn't go to higher institution. He joined them. Before I knew it, he was brandishing 6 Ovan cars, Ovan buses. Where
because they are criminals. They are. The people that are I don't even know where to start. I said a lot on this last night. And when I came across that phone conversation on Nigerian Info, okay, it's supposed to be the radio program. And I was like, oh, okay. The witch cried yesterday and a child died today. So obviously, you know, this could be just like an add-on to what we already knew. The criminals are the ones manning your borders, and they contribute greatly to the widespread hardship in that contraption. So the custom can come in convoy, gun blazing to your community because they found you with 1 bag of rice. But the same criminals who would display bags of rice as they seize, rice, they will kind of, after the camera is off, they will move all the bags to the shop of their wives, their girlfriends, and then their designated dealers. If they should find a single bag that they did not authorize in your shop, then you'll be their own scapegoat, the ones that they have to come around and they can even kill you in the process of trying to take everything away from you. So like that guy said, the Nigeria that's supposed to be sufficient in food production is not. And then this food is cheaper at the border. But because of all these ongoing criminalities, overtaxation, tariff, the smugglers and all this stuff, right? The people have to kind of pay through their noses. A bag of rice in Nigeria right now is over 100,000 naira, I've been told. But as long as they are declaring humongous revenue generated, thiefnubu and his gang can continue to doctor the book to make themselves look good. And that's what they told the IMF. thiefnubu told IMF that their policies is working and they have started seeing results. I know. It probably will be easier for you to dispute that and say, no, that's not true. I actually know that it's not true. Right? But let's leave them with that. IMF, customs, Koolu and gang. There is this clip. It's a very short one. You know, we're talking about the criminal institutions in Nigeria, agency and institutions in Nigeria, the police, the customs, or you know about the judiciary, right? Similarly, we have the EFCC that will break into your house like thieves without any warrants because they have a suspicion. Something happened there to this couple last night.
So this is my door. It was broken down. This is my room door. It was forced open. It was forced open. What it means is that even when the thieves come, I'm not even safe. They say they are EFCC.
Please lock the door. There is a lady there with no camera. Can I stop videoing us now?
No. So this is my...
Madam, stop videoing us. If you are doing something right, something legal, you shouldn't be afraid of being recorded, I think. You know? So the way these guys operate in that contraption is so lawless. About sometimes they can bump into an hotel because they suspected that internet fraudsters are lodging in an hotel. So everyone in that hotel will be matched out. Even if you have identification to identify yourself, they will match you out. I've seen that many times. And they do get away with all of that too. They do get away with that. So if they come to an estate and one sec, and they are looking for suspects, they can be going from one flat to another, and they will be harassing everyone along the way. And if they somehow feel like, how could you be living in this fancy house like this? You need to prove they are not looking for you, but yeah, they can automatically switch on you. Random, it's called random operation. I mean, in the whole process, we'll get to see our own, our own victim that is going to party with a lot of money. It's a zoo. And that's a fancy way to call it, the zoo. Here is another one again. A supposed House of Assembly member, is it even an House of Assembly or House of Representative member? Brahim or something, I don't know. In Lagos, the mega shitty, a place where thiefnubu, the Poseidon, who defended the Atlantic Ocean, defended Lagos from the Atlantic Ocean. But somehow, before thiefnubu became your governor in Lagos, houses, homes used to have their own pipe-borne water, tap water. No borehole. I grew up in Lagos, partly. And in the late 80s, early 90s, including even late 90s too, people used to have their own water inside their own houses. People used to have tap water, public water, not borehole. Borehole, no there anywhere at that time. The one that has now become the norm, tradition now, boreholes, where everybody is now drilling their own borehole for water. There was no borehole in Lagos before thiefnubu came on. The way you are saying it, immediately thiefnubu came, the water works in Lagos State died. And in replacement of that, you have a boreholes here, or the Merua, people who are pushing trucks to sell water. This is 2024, 25 years after the emergence of democracy, 25 years of thiefnubu and his gang ruining Lagos. There is no pipe-borne water in the entire Lagos State, government water per se. 25 years of democracy. Of one single political group, criminal group, running and ruining that mega shitty. But here is one of the rewarded thug who is also a lawmaker from Lagos State, warning the Meruas for cheating the people or selling their water too expensive or something like that. And this encounter ensued. Please, it's a long watch.
For Nigeria, won't carry all the money, go to jail. Abi? Say you want to cover a more lot of money. You go for house, go for let to fight for water, 3,000 for water. You won't give people. From today, just stop. Yeah. If you like, do this business. If you don't like, leave this business. If you don't push water again, stop up. That's the way they sell up for you now. We don't tell up. You must not collect past 200 from you. We not collect money. Government not collect 1 naira from all of you. Have you never collect money from you? That's the way they sell water for you. Government not collect couple. You pay for water. You not pay for water. Where did you all this for? If there is as possible, you say government. Now government knows where they sell water for you. You go sell water, spoil road. Now government will clear the road. You go sell water, do this thing. Now government will clear up. See, you see the sharp government. You know that you will stop. From now upwards, if you don't want to do this business, let me give up. Everywhere I hear someone want to sell truck for top floor, more than 1, 2, I will fight that one out. Top floor. I get money top floor, 1, 2. If you like grant, 7,000. Now top floor, now here at that time. And if they call anyone and say make come top floor, he say you no go. If you are here, if you arrest that money, well, you go forget the day where you come from.
Everybody can hear anything about it.
You go forget the day. Where you go forget the day where you come from. If they call you say na top floor, you say you no go for top floor. If they catch you, if I catch you, I go send people out now. If I catch you, I don't know you. If I catch you, it will be a problem. Top floor. If you buy water here, 200. Carry out go top floor, 1,200. 1,000 for a trip is something for you. I know it's not easy to push. That's why I know it is easy. That's why we put 1,000 for week. If you go 10 trips, you don't see 10,000 now. If you see 10,000 every day, now 300,000. How many civil servants collect 300,000? How many civil servants collect 300,000? They're going to beg you. They're going to do that. See, you'll be cabinet on the ground. They're going to beg you. Come. They say no. Question for you. Too fast lash. See, if you can't do that again, I do on the street. I don't be coming away from office. Every morning, 5 o'clock, I don't go out. If I arrest one mullah, I go take and do sample for you. You go see. From here, you go jail. They go here for the jail, say you get 7 years prison for Nigeria. If na money for Lagos, if na money for Kanu, if na money for Katino, either the jail. Me, I don't know. All of them do the normal thing. 1, 2, everybody. And people when they sell for you must not sell more than 2,000. Everybody, everybody sell 200. You know what I know? See, I'm not to ẹgbọ́n ẹ má ta mọ́ láyé ó pè mí dàgbẹ́ máa ta omi fún wọn ní $300. And you know, if you no fit sell am 1, 2 top floor, don't let me see you with truck at all. Don't go on the street of Island. If you no wan sell that amount, stop this work. You hear?
Yes.
I no wan fight you. I no wan fight you because I know say you dey struggle. Don't let me fight you. I never come out. Do you see me before? Come fight you. You go on, you go. Try to work for you. Yeah? My people don't tell me maybe they give you tickets. 1,000. I say I don't want. Because all of you they struggle. I mean, they never come me together with you ticket. That means I don't want. I don't stop there. I don't want to give you any ticket. Because if you collect ticket, you go say the ticket where they collect. That's why they say what I so. I don't give you any ticket. If anybody give you ticket, hold on for me, make a answer. If anybody stop you on the road, say make you collect ticket, hold on. Yeah? Tell us no collect ticket. And you, make me say whatever I want to. I don't need shout to, that's one. Two, sorry, all this old for your truck. Go block them now. I give you till now till Monday for this one. It's not this much for up. It is spoil road. They spoil. All the plastic when no good. When they leak, go to where and go by another one or go repair. All the this thing when no get cover. Even I cover like this, I am okay. This one no cover. You see? Anyone will close like this, leave them. Anyone will not get cover. If I see you, if you carry 12, wait, you carry 12. If 11 good, one no good. If I see you for road, I will stop you. I go give people waiting for that road water free. I go carry all this thing. I go carry all your this pocket. Put out for road. Put petrol. I go burn am all. And the man? Yeah, I go burn am all. After burning it, I will seize your truck. Don't go with that. And if I see you arrest like this, I will see you in 30 court. So if you know that one work, all your this thing must not leak, must be in good condition. So that water not gonna fall on the road. You there? Yeah, Baba. Yeah, you there? You there? Nazaki. Can you there? Yeah. 200 per truck. I don't want to wear. Ẹgbọ́ o. Àwọn àjọ lójú fún ọyún o. Mo ń jókòó sọ́fíìsì o. Tó bá lọ́fíìsì ọlọ́run tó tọ́lọ́ máa ń ká mi mọ́ ni. Tó bá rẹ̀ mí, ọlọ́run máa ń rẹ̀ wọ́n. Jókòó sí ọjọ́ dáhùn. Orí títì ló wà o. Tí bá gbọ́.
Nuisance lele.
The local government SCDA chairman. People who are bridging the gap between the people and the irresponsible government. How about you actually provide public water for people, and then people pay water bills to the council? Than to go after those who have decided to fill in the gap in a free market, where if you cannot afford to buy my water, you can easily just get yourself a truck and then go and buy the water for 200 naira, then push it. I remember back in Odogbolu then too, we used to actually build our own trucks. Yeah, water truck. And you buy all the, the jerry cans like that. And all we have to do is just go out, buy the water, 10 naira. Or was it 10 naira or 5 naira? I can't even remember. I think it was for 5 naira or something. So if you buy 10, that's 15 naira per truck. And then we push it. Because over time, public water continued to kind of like become history. I don't know if they still have public water in Nigeria anymore. Do you still have public water in Nigeria? I don't think so. This is one failure. That people have become their own local governments. The people will provide their own water. They will provide their own electricity. They will provide their own houses. They will provide their own education for their children. They will provide their own health care for their own family. They will even provide their own security for themselves. And yet, they have government in that contraption. So rather than for the government to provide water, public water for people, they have decided to actually tax those who have dug, their own boreholes. So right now, you have millions of boreholes in Lagos alone. Almost every house possibly have their own borehole, almost. If you go to the expensive estates in Lagos, the supposed rich areas of Lagos, they have to provide their own water, their own security, high fence security, because you are on your own. Their own job is just to come around and tax you for providing your own electricity, providing your own water, providing your own security, providing this for yourself. They just come around and tax you for it. And that's why he went there. He's talking to those who are water sellers, pushers. And he's also talking to those who are like selling the water to the water pushers. You must not sell it more than 200 naira. And you must not sell it more than 1,200 naira. If you sell it more than that, I will come for you. I will burn your truck. But you are the government. You are supposed to provide the water. And you'll make more money if you can provide water for every household, where people actually have to access water in their own homes and they pay the water bill. But they will tell you, well, people will not pay. Our people know they pay. That is why we'll just leave them like that. And that is the mega shitty of Lagos. Well, let's leave them and then treat the current trending news. I have had people on Mayegun's Diary Politico, the viewers here, who have asked me severally, why is it that I do not talk about Simon Ekpa? I do see some of those comments, but because I have had this vow way back before things got this messy, right? Within the Biafra advocacy, especially after the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I intentionally ignore some of those comments. But tonight, I'll tell you a few things. And there's a reason why I have to. Because, yeah, it's trending everywhere. Simon and 4 others have been arrested in Finland, which has brought back the same old no love lost social media frenzy. For those of you who probably should have, in case if you have lost your memory of this, I will remind you. 3.5 or so years ago, when all of us woke up to that news of the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, it took me almost a whole day to even accept it that it was real. No, it can't be. That can't be Nnamdi Kanu, no. Until the images, even when I saw the images, when I saw the video of his rendition, somehow inside me, I was waiting for it to be a no news. But there was so much events that took place afterward to what we now have today. The division, the hatred, the abuses, the attacks, the name it, that happened to this Biafran struggle. 3.5 years ago, again, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned back to Nigeria, there were so many questions. was no answer. So there were so many questions running through the minds of millions of people. What was he doing in Kenya? We invited him to Kenya. How did they, so many questions. Then there was also the lacuna that is arrest in Kenya, which later led to an obvious kidnapping, extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu to Nigeria. There seems to be a lacuna. The top leadership disagreement. It all started from Nnamdi Kanu, who, in my own opinion, did not actually work on what was called the succession plan. If anything happened to me, this is the person I want to continue the struggle. He never did that. Something that I believe was like an oversight that he totally ignored. But he is a human being. We are all not infallible, so to say. So Nnamdi Kanu's extraordinary rendition created that lacuna of leadership. It shouldn't have. According to the IPOB, somebody like myself, right, about 10 years ago, started following the advocacy of the IPOB. It was around the time that Nnamdi Kanu was the most misunderstood human being alive. The Igbos who disliked his guts. The non-Igbos who wanted him hung. Because it was like, he talked so tough, so blunt, that you must have extra layer of skin on you not to want Nnamdi Kanu probably dead or something. But at the time, I saw more than an angry man, a very truthful man. I saw beyond what others saw as abuses, attacks. In Nigeria, a lot of people they are not really interested in the substance of your message. They are mostly interested in not understanding you. And they find comfort in that. How dare you say that about the Yoruba leaders? How can you say that about the Christian leaders? Why would you say that about the Igbo leaders? So there were others who felt like Nnamdi Kanu was a warmonger, hateful person. But when you digest most of his messages very well, except if you are, a compromised, biased person with probably a low mentality person, you can really take offense in Nnamdi Kanu's messages. But if you pay attention very well, like, you don't even have to stress it to understand that except you are in support of all the abnormalities going on in that contraption, right? There is no way you would actually disagree with Nnamdi Kanu. He was talking about the criminals, which I speak about all the time too. And these criminals cut across all tribes, ethnic, religion, and all that. Or it was somebody that it was easy to hate, or somebody you would love to hate. So somehow, before his first supposed arrest in 2015, December, and when he was forcefully taken away from his hotel room in Lagos in December 2015, and then they launched what was called the government-sponsored propaganda, not just against him, but it was an opportunity for the likes of Bukwari to possibly take back or finish what they couldn't finish between 1967 and 1970. I was one of those very, very vocal non-Igbo person trying to educate others to see through most of the lies and what Nnamdi Kanu was preaching. So Nnamdi Kanu might be a very tough-talking person, but I found him as one man who loved the Igbos and Igbo people, especially the Biafrans, as he loved to call them, because Biafra is more than the Igbos. He loved them so much that he would never want any harm to happen to them. In fact, it was his fear of the arms coming the ways of the Biafrans that prompted him to continue to raise the alarm of something called the day of doom. If you don't do this, if we don't stand up, they are coming for us. They will kill us. They will this and that. And all these messages got a lot of people, gave them PTSD. And they called him a warmonger, somebody who was calling for violence. He wasn't calling for violence. He was warning against it at the time and calling on especially the Igbos. If you don't listen, you will be sacrificed. Again, this time, it won't be like the war you fought for 3 years. It will be a state-sponsored, more or less like a state-sponsored genocide in a different way, ethnic cleansing. Nnamdi Kanu never preached for war, and he will never want any harm come the way of the Igbos. The IPOB, on the other hand, they are these responsible people, collection of responsible people, old and young, home and abroad, who also, through the preachings of this man, dedicated themselves, their lives, to further push for the Biafra referendum. The IPOB is a non-violent movement. It might be hard for some of you to possibly believe that, but that's who they are. That is what actually attracted somebody like myself to listen to them and follow them, to the extent of speaking out for them anytime, anytime, anywhere, at any given opportunity. There was nowhere the violence that we are now witnessing today in the eastern part of Nigeria was anything to do with the IPOB. Ever. In fact, there were those who are also members of the IPOB at the time, or maybe not, who felt like Nnamdi Kanu was too soft. They wanted actions, but he wasn't giving them the way, because the action to him should have been taken straight to the enemies. And who is the enemy? The criminal politicians and their allies outside Igbo land, not to stage and start violence in Igbo land against the Igbo people in Igbo land. That was something that he preached so much against, that even when he met with the criminal politicians from eastern Nigeria, he kept talking about the protection of the Igbos, protection of the Igbo land against the invading Fulani terrorists. And when they won't yield, Nnamdi Kanu went behind them, assembled a group called the ESN, Eastern Security Network. But there are those who felt like IPOB is too soft. They said Nnamdi Kanu should raise what they call the dragon head. But the violence that you probably have against the enemies of the Ndigbo, enemies of Biafra, should never have launched any war in Biafra land. But to those of us who knows, when Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, before his rendition, before they kidnapped him from Kenya, one of the arguments of Bokwari's government at the time was Nnamdi Kanu was so influential that he is a big threat. It's just going to be a matter of time before he would encourage these young men and women in Igbo land to go violent and carry guns. They went to America to lobby the American Congress to please join them in proscribing the IPOB as a terrorist organization. There was no record of them either in Igbo land or anywhere intimidating, harassing anybody. There was no record of that. So it became very difficult I'm glad that the person who is now Donald Trump's chief of staff, I believe, the White House chief of staff today, that lady, Weiss, happened to be one of the agencies or the lobbyist agent in America that worked with the IPOB, defended them and ensured that the attempt of Nigeria, after spending millions of dollars, the attempt of Nigeria under Bukwari to proscribe the IPOB internationally and call them terrorist organization was totally defeated in America, even here in the UK. Nnamdi Kanu talks tough, of course. Then when he got released in that deal of 2017, before they now attempted to kill 2018, then before they attempted to kill him in that 2018 September or thereabouts, he never pushed for any kind of a violence in that place. So they needed to show to the world that IPOB is a violent or will later become violent. For over 3 years or thereabouts, when he was first kidnapped in Lagos, there was never a day that any violence or whatever was recorded in the eastern part of Nigeria. Not a single day. There were those who wanted to, but they couldn't. So when Nnamdi Kanu got rendition from Kenya back to Nigeria, like I said, this time around, it has created a big leadership vacuum in a way that it shouldn't have, because according to the IPOB leadership that I know of, they said they have hierarchy, that he might not have announced it or pronounced it, but if anything happens to him, they expected somebody else like next to him to take charge. But there came Ekpa, a YouTuber, a social media content creator, a Biafran, a prominent one, who then presented himself and said, he is a disciple of Nnamdi Kanu. And in fact, Nnamdi Kanu wanted him to take over if anything happened to him. Interestingly, he's a young, brilliant guy. But there was this disagreement, which to me was the beginning of the mess that we are witnessing today. There's a group, there is a leadership in the IPOB called the DOS. So when Nnamdi Kanu got rendition back to Nigeria, it was reported that he ordered the IPOB leadership to let Simon continue to broadcast on the radio Biafra and order that the leadership of the IPOB in Koto chooses not to obey. Because according to them, they wanted more confirmation that Simon Ekpa is going to be a loyal IPOB member, because he was never a member of IPOB. He's just a YouTuber. He's just a Facebook content creator. That he had to swear this, he has to swear to an oath, he has to, like, mismanagement of that supposed order led to the path that Simon took that made him today is a prime minister of his own group, the Biafra government in exile, Biggie. But before he arrived in becoming the prime minister of Biggie or what have you, he ensured that the renditioning of Nnamdi Kanu which also created an opportunity to further neutralize this all-powerful IPOB DOS. So they started creating different kind of stories around how Nnamdi Kanu got kidnapped. They started accusing everyone of being the person behind. In fact, there was time, exposé by Simon Ekpa, where Simon, almost every day, will remind his own listeners and followers. Remember, IPOB members and maybe non-IPOB members who are like Biafrans, they were so rattled by the kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu, so shocked, so lost. How did this happen? How could this happen? Why would they let this happen? You know what I mean? Who are those responsible? Was it Nigeria? Was it this or that? So it gave Simon an opportunity to fill in the gap and give them the answers that some of them possibly wanted, no matter how ridiculous some of those assumptions were. So to everybody that Simon had a stone to grind with, he accused almost everyone of being responsible for selling Nnamdi Kanu. There is nobody that they didn't accuse, to the point that they accused his wife, Nnamdi Kanu's wife, of being an ashewo, of being a this, he sold our leader. Everybody sold their leader. And it was a moment of, it was like a watershed moment that brought so much division to the struggle. I was watching from the far. Around that time, I actually did try to call people to order on this same Mayegun's Diary Political. And guess what? Because people were so riled up, people were so angry. Some of them told me to keep my mouth shut. Shut up your mouth. You this Yoruba. You this Yoruba. What you concern this Yoruba man in our problem? What you concern you this and that? They accused almost everyone until they started accusing themselves. It got so bad, man, that they started posting nude photos of themselves on social media. It was so bad that a lot of people today who are Simon Ekpa's followers so strongly believed that the IPOB, these DOS, they are criminals, they are fraud, they are this. There's nothing that they haven't called them. And on the other hand, the IPOB, they are calling Simon a fraud, a scam, a this, a that, and the entire struggle. And that then gave the criminal politicians of Eastern Nigeria what they have been looking for. So what was that? To unleash their politically sponsored terrorists in the eastern part of Nigeria, so that they can easily just say, well, this attack is done by IPOB. They have the media. And Simon, who seems to love attention a lot, he loves attention, man. His social media is filled with some of these horrible happenings in Eastern Nigeria. What this, what that. And I remember coming on to Mayegun's Diary Political and said, please don't glorify some of these attacks. Please. If you want to go after the enemies of Biafra, can you just take it out of that place? And it should be somewhere else. It shouldn't be on your soil. Again, in case if you are reading their comment, because I know they are going to rush down here now. And the whole fight will continue again, but it's all right. Do not glorify all these happenings. If you continue to publish them, and they will kind of give them what they wanted. IPOB is violent this, IPOB is violent that. But they didn't stop. So both sides kept accusing each other. Oh, you are this. Oh, you are that. Oh, you are this. Oh, you know what I mean? Until what was supposed to be a very peaceful, enlightening, self-determination, advocacy turned into rivalry of thought. So when the IPOB said they were going to be sitting at home every day, every time that Nnamdi Kanu is taken to court, Simon Ekpa hijacked that. So what it's now sit at home every Monday. That's the genesis. So IPOB then had to withdraw it and say, okay, you know what? We stopped the sit at home now. Simon came out and said, no, we are not stopping until they release our leader. It got so bad that Nnamdi Kanu, through his own lawyer, wrote Simon, please, can you stop this? And he categorically said, I'm not going to take order from somebody in DSS detention. That's what he said. No, he can't give me an order. Around that time, he's already kind of become like a real big block himself. And there were those who loved that. This is what we wanted. Nnamdi Kanu won't do it. So now this is the person we would prefer. We need to give it to this Nigeria. I said, we need to give it to these people. We need to chase them out of our land and all that. So that gave the criminals in eastern part of Nigeria what they've always wanted. It got to a stage that Nnamdi Kanu was actually made to say something about the people that we are trying to fight for, the people we are trying to protect. We shouldn't be killing them. They called this bluff. I don't know if some of you remember this September message of Mazi.
When he Biafra, onye onye ohi onye ọbụla pụtara na-ezu ohi na-agba ama na-atụrụ ndị mmadụ na-eme ihe niile ndị a niile kwere na ohi IPOB onye abụ onye ohi we are here to fight for freedom, for justice, equity and fairness. That's what we're fighting for. Nothing more, nothing less. And we cannot be cowed by anybody. We are without fear before our enemies. And we speak the truth always. I want all the journalists here arrayed to go and ask them, ask government of Nigeria, what happened to treasonable felons? Where are those charges today?
From 2015.
They have just disappeared because they have no evidence against me. Anybody committing crime cannot go scot-free. I swear it. They cannot go scot-free. Anybody involved in any type of crime in the East cannot go free. And they're doing it because I'm in DSS. That's what, if I said no idiot can try this rubbish. And they know it very well. They know it very well. And I suspect that some people in government are complicit. Yes. They are making money with insecurity.
That's correct.
They're making money with it. They know Nnamdi Kanu is outside. In 2 minutes, this nonsense will stop. Who is the idiot? Who is the bagger? That will speak when I'm talking. Who is the fool? Who is the idiot? I ask. That I give an order in the East and any idiot will counter it. Who is the bastard? I'm asking you. Nobody can.
Sir, are you
I'm Nnamdi Kanu. Who is the idiot?
No, don't.
No, man. What is it?
Can you tell us the ongoing killings in the East in the name of IPOB? What is your stand on that?
Anybody involved in any form of violence or insecurity in the Southeast,
in the
name of IPOB, is a gunner, and they know it. Let me come out of this nonsense, this mess. 2 minutes only.
There will be peace.
Only 2 minutes, I guarantee you.
And tranquility.
And there will be peace in the East, not just Southeast. Everywhere in the East, if not the entire South. Huh?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
No, so don't worry, okay? If you have anyone here who feels like, I read someone who said that I don't like Simon. That's one of the problems that some of you who are like the social media praise singers for these guys, okay? This is not about whether I like him or I don't like him. Actually, I don't have anything against him, seriously, because it doesn't really matter how I feel or what I think. Okay, but the thing here is this. There is no sensible person, nobody in their right senses will see the level of carnage going on in the eastern part of Nigeria today. No matter how much you try, to put it on the politicians, okay? Because, I mean, I used to have my own evidence of some of these things being sponsored by politicians and all that. But Simon doesn't really give anybody that benefit of the doubt anymore. He glorifies them. He celebrates these killings. It's all over his social media. And that's what prompted what you are now witnessing today. So last year, he was invited by the Finnish security. And he categorically told them that, no, I'm not, we are not responsible for any of this, so fair enough. But you know what happened after? The Finnish government actually sent their own investigator down to Nigeria, to the eastern part of Nigeria. They met with some of the victims of this violence. And today, yeah, the news is everywhere. See, me, I am in support of the, what do you call it, the self-determination, the Biafran struggle. Even when somebody was like, is going to declare your Biafra on the 2nd of December, I mean, to those of you who actually believe in, I don't have anything against that. The only thing that is so concerning is that the level of carnage that we have now witnessed, which are so celebrated by him, will never happened under the purview of Nnamdi Kanu. That's the point. You cannot glorify killing of your own people as fighting for them. If you don't agree with us, we are going to water you. If you don't agree with our own kind of Biafra, that is unbelievable. Initially, they said, if you don't release our leader. And I was like, oh, this would have made a lot of sense. So if that fight was actually taken to Abuja, make Abuja ungovernable. And they'll say, why? They'll say, because DSS is locking Nnamdi Kanu up somewhere in Abuja. That would have made a lot of sense. But in a contraption that people are facing serious economic downturn and hardship, somebody is celebrating, unleashing violence every Monday on his own people, and you sit on social media glorifying that. Do you really think any sensible person will kind of feel like Omo? So yeah, you don't have to possibly like what I'm saying, but it has to be said. It has to. Well, the news broke today. Though some people are still thinking that maybe this is not even real, that maybe it is a propaganda where, Simon will now be using this, this arrest. Okay, anyway, let me finish what I'm saying though. So they sent their, their investigators to Eastern Nigeria. This time around, Simon Ekpa, from 2022, when he declared that there is Biggie and all that. And then he became the prime minister. They have the government cabinet and the rest of that in exile. It has now been discovered that not only was he, making so much money, over $200,000 every month, has been contributed from all over the world to, to fund the Biafra government in exile. They also discovered that he has been sending money to a different group of armed terrorists, which they are called the BLA. I think that's going to offend some of you, his supporters. How dare you call them terrorists? You are unleashing terror on your own people. This whole thing started from, we need to protect Igbo land against the Fulani terrorists that want to invade us. So now, shooting your own people, Igbos, burning their cars. So they have now found, this is why they are holding him and 4 others in Finland right now, that they have evidence of him sending money to buy weapons, this and that, to those who are causing a serious violence in Eastern Nigeria. That is indefensible. It is indefensible. And it is more or less like not Igbo-like. Let me tell you something, in case if you will listen. In campaign for your country, you need to understand that there are those who are never going to agree. And that's why it is called a referendum. Okay? That you want a Biafra. There will always be people who don't want Biafra. So you cannot sentence them to death. You cannot call them saboteurs. You cannot possibly like what the Islamic terrorists will call the fatwa. If we tell you to do something and you don't do it, we will kill you. That is barbaric. I mean, this is 2024, for goodness sake. You do not celebrate such in such a way that you look at, I mean, see, we are currently on the world stage as we speak. Okay? So you need to know that there will be those who are always going to be on the other side. Your job, your advocacy, is to get as many people onto this side so that the minority will have their say, but the majority will have their way. Majority will have their way. And to be that majority, if there's any violence at all you want to involve in this, right, it should be against those who are non-Igbos. And I know that some of you are probably listening to Simon. You will disagree with this. Fine. But the thing now is this. Last year, when he was invited, it was because of their election. When he said there will be no election, and it was reported to the Finnish government, he got invited and he said, oh, they were killing our people. They are militarizing our region. I support the idea of demilitarizing of Eastern Nigeria. Yeah, I do. All these roadblocks in Eastern Nigeria, all this harassment of people and all of that, I kind of support anything that is going to stop or push that away. Fine. For killing the Igbos in Igbo land, kidnapping them, then you will celebrate them on Twitter. Then you, his followers, will turn around and say, no, it's a lie. It's not him. It's not your BLA, Biafra Liberation Army. What does that even mean? These people are making videos threatening their fellow Igbos. Then burn you well. You are a dead meat if you come out tomorrow. You are a dead this and that. Then you will turn around and say, people that are being killed, they are killed by DSS. They are killed by Nigerian army. No, come on. There's enough. On Simon's social media handle, where he is celebrating these killings. I don't think any rightful thinking person should take that, but we are living in a world that deranged people, okay, also have access to social media, unfortunately. So a lot has gone wrong. And right now, I just really wish that I never got to this level. So whether it is propaganda to fake his arrest or something, as some of you are trying to make yourself believe, all right? But the thing now is that he has finally, possibly, pushed himself to a place that I strongly believe was totally avoidable. It is a total mockery of, an honorable advocacy, unfortunately. So I am not happy that what happened is happening. I have always not been happy. And this has nothing to do whether I like Simon or I don't like Simon. We are talking about human lives here. The actions and the inaction of these guys, the human lives that have been wasted. And this is totally preventable. This is totally avoidable. There are so many of you who don't even live in that contraption. You live all over the place in Europe and America. And you are watching the carnage unleashed on Igbo land. And somehow, you want that to remain. You believe that is going to give you Biafra. Man, I don't know how this is going to end. But tonight, I really do wish that I never got to this stage. I really do wish. And I hope that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be freed anytime soon. And we can put all of this behind us. Okay? Yeah, Simon is Finnish. When I say Finnish, I mean he's a Finland citizen. So, except they revoke his citizenship, there is no extradition arrangement or agreement between Finland and Nigeria. So the idea of the Nigerian, there's this chief of defense or chief of something in Nigeria, all these military guys who said they are working on extraditing him to Nigeria. I don't think that's going to happen. Except if they have to kind of like revoke his citizenship, then deport him. Terrorism is one of the reasons why his citizenship can be revoked as well. I don't really see that happen. But in this world that we live in today, where it's all about a deal this, deal that, you can never say never. But I really do wish he will have a chance of defending himself. And the four others, there are other things we have heard that actually led to this arrest finally. But most of them are currently unverified. So therefore, we just leave it as it is. But it is so preventable, avoidable. It shouldn't have gotten to this stage at all. It was doing a great job, right, in keeping the touch on. And sometimes I feel like the IPOB guys should have managed this even better. Unfortunately, it got escalated. Simon himself got so carried away. And today, he denied being the prime minister of Biafra. And his own supporters are saying he never called himself the prime minister of Biafra because he only called himself the prime minister of Biafra government in exile. So today, when he appeared in court before they sent him to prison, that's Simon there covering his face. So he was presented to a district court where he was charged for terrorism and 4 others. So to avoid his face being all over the media, that's the charge paper or the charge papers in his hand, where he's covering his face from the camera. So, however, he has been remanded in a Finnish prison, where he is expected to return back to court tomorrow. And then, we will give that a follow-up. Okay, follow-up. So, Simon Ekpa supporters who are here, you will need to either calm down or vent your anger. You probably need it. Okay? Vent your anger, do all of that. Talking nonsense. People are talking, whatever makes you feel better. Okay? It's not new. A lot of you have always been like that. There's nothing you haven't called yourselves. DOS, they are criminals. They are recharge card this. The DOS are the ones sponsoring terrorism in Eastern Nigeria. But the person celebrating the act of terrorism online is Simon Ekpa. Is the one praising is Water Army, Abi? The ones that are burning people's properties, burning their cars, shooting people. And most of those you are killing, they are actually Igbos too. I've never seen this kind of thing before in my life. And that's why I said that I really did actually wish it never got to this. Okay? There are many of you who are expecting that this is just a propaganda. Well, maybe it is. Or maybe by tomorrow it's going to be out there and, oh my God, it will become more popular. But you see, this whole thing is not about being popular or being, no. I'm actually using this chance to ask all of you to reflect. Is this the Biafra that you are yearning for? The one that, if anybody disagrees with you, if anyone says, I am not in support of this approach, you would rather have them killed. Is this actually the Biafra you want? Yeah? The Biafra where you are projecting so much hatred at yourselves, you can't wait to buy yourselves. Is that the Biafra you listen to Nnamdi Kanu talk about? Is it? I don't think so, but I'll leave you to it. So, ladies and gentlemen, one man that I kind of believe is, maybe medically unwell. I put something on my Twitter, my ex, yesterday, and it was about Wike. So I said that if Wike happened to be an alcoholic, the way he looks is probably like older than his age right now. And it is concerning. So then on the second thought, I was like, wait, what if Wike is alcoholic? Like, is battling alcoholism? That is a medical condition, right? Then somebody just dropped a bombshell on that tweet and said, Mayegu is probably, that person said is alcoholic. And he's always drowning himself in alcohol. But the Igbos that he massacred in Obigbo in 2020, that's probably their spirits are tormenting him. And that is why he is battling with alcoholism. And I was like, oh, that's deeper. So we saw him in Abuja today, where I believe he is reconstructing a road in Gwagwalada and the people around there today. I'll take you there before we take calls this evening. Here.
Nobody can enter here. Nobody can drive in here. What we are doing is here. That's what we are doing. And we have started feeding. We have cleared this river. Yes. No, the other one is farmer. This one goes to Radio Nigeria.
I'll do that again. Remember you. Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Minister. Single Senator.
I am happy to see our minister today in Wagwalada. City. Wagwalada City. I am happy. God bless you. God bless you. Wike.
Let's go enter our car.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I mean, Gwagwalada, is that what it's called? Like Gwagwalada sounded like a very popular place in Abuja. So when I saw their roads, I was like, since all these years, FCT Abuja, I mean, come on. you should probably be having this top-class infrastructure in Abuja. But don't be so. Here is another road found in that same Abuja. Anyway, on that note, we are drawing the curtain this evening. And then I'm going to open the line, okay, where every one of you can have your chance of expressing yourselves too. Don't worry. See those ones that are abusing me. One person said, I know nothing about freedom fighting. Well, bro, I also know, I may not know a lot about fighting freedom. But one thing I know is that killing the people that you claim to be fighting for is not freedom fighting. And you can abuse me. You won't be the first. At least I didn't even abuse you. I didn't even abuse your prime minister too. I didn't even talk down on him, did I? I just pointed out the deviation from what things should be to what it has turned out to be. And there is no way you are going to get the kind of support that Nnamdi Kanu. Look around you. See, look around you. If some of you, Simon Ekpa supporters, if you are reasonable enough, right? Look around you. When Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, a lot of people became so dejected. It was like sobering time. Even for those who are non-Igbos, they couldn't believe it. Everybody just felt so bad. Well, have you seen the reactions to the arrest of Simon Ekpa? Have you seen that? So that should tell you everything you need to know. You cannot win the support of the people you claim to be fighting for if you are unleashing terror on them. No matter how much you try to want to spin it, okay, you will never win their support except just praise singers, keypad warriors like some of you are doing right now. Those are the only people, right, that will keep riling the water. So that's all you need to know. When Nnamdi Kanu got renditioned, you can still possibly go back and check how people felt. And then look at this. I'll leave you to it. It doesn't have to make you comfortable. Okay? So I am going to take a break. And yeah, instead of being a keypad warrior, you can grab your phone and possibly call in and tell me what we don't know. Okay? And maybe I can give you your answer on the phone. You know? Anyway, I'll take a short break so that when I come back, we will take calls. Okay? And let's keep it simple and short. It's probably going to be a very busy night. Don't go anywhere. tongue. Let me tell you something, right? I remember when this actually is a true story, right? So if I see Simon Ekpa supporters who comes onto Mayegun's Diary Political to come and rant, it's okay. I remember when Nnamdi Kanu, when Nnamdi Kanu said, I want you, IPOB, to start listening to the following people. And he started listening to people like Mayegun Diary. He didn't mention Simon Ekpa or more. They won't chop Nnamdi Kanu raw. I don't know if some of you remember that. They won't chop him raw. We did not mention Ekpa. The following day, Nnamdi Kanu had to go live again. I said, Biafrans, I want you to listen to the following. It's crazy, right? So we've come a long way. All right. It's just that things shouldn't even get to this stage at all. I mean, I did say that on Mayegun's Diary Political before that is a very useful, what do you call it? It's a very, very useful asset to the Biafran struggle. But I blame the IPOB leadership to some extent too. But things shouldn't even have escalated to this point. Omo, these guys, they say, they called Nnamdi Kanu's wife, Ashewu. So many of Simon Ekpa supporters, they still call Nnamdi Kanu's wife, Ashewu till tomorrow. They say she colluded with people who sold her husband. And that was it for me. I was like, oh man, these guys are irredeemable, man. This is unbelievable. They believed till tomorrow that she sold her husband. There's nobody that they haven't accused of selling Nnamdi Kanu. Everybody where they don't agree with sold Nnamdi Kanu. And it worked. I have a caller though. Here. Zen, hello.
Hello, Mr. FBI. How are you doing, Bible?
You are my first caller this evening. You have to make it quick. Oh. There are so many people who want to come and abuse me, and I want them to call in and say it to my face. How are you, sir?
They're not going to abuse you, Bible.
It's normal. I'm used to it.
Nobody's going to abuse you. Let me just say it before they even start saying it, yeah? I'll make it clear. Obviously, you're disturbing our own peace in our own little arrangement. You're finding out too many information that I don't like about. I'm listening to you, and I'm happy. I will start with the first information about Tinubu loan that you put on there. The loans will be approved. He's going to get his loan.
Already, unfortunately, man.
He's gonna keep taking loans, and the loans will keep piling up because all the money he spent to get into power, he's gonna have to repay you back. And the money will not. Nigeria is not generating enough money, so he has to either tax you, collect loan, complete the money, and return the money to the people that invested and award contract. Secondly, on the issue of Wike is not well. Have you actually looked at?
We're not supposed to be diagnosing somebody when we are not his doctor, but he's not looking well. I mean, it's
you don't need to be diagnosed to know that someone is not looking well. Why go and check your picture 10 years ago when you started from the kitchen and check your picture now? There has not been any marginal change apart from age. Go and check Wike when he was governor under PDP up till now. Go and check Donye Okugwe since he stopped being campaign manager for Peter Obi. Go and check. Just look at them. You see, there's a. Did you not see the one that was complaining that they give Buala appointment? The one that was screaming, or whatever they call him, they say he's a lawyer. He's screaming that they give Buala appointment. That was crying. Why is he crying? No, he's crying because these are people that need to be paid. They've been paid. They've served them breakfast and they're gone. However, with regards to Simon Ekpa, who is going to be the most controversial call you're going to get today, yeah, is the appointment of Bianca Ojukwu told me that this was going to happen. People were just looking at it as a joke. It was deliberate. What is happening here is the government and every other government that has been working with the American government to keep Africa backwards realize that if Trump comes in, he's going to cut off every element, every penny you spend in every part of the world through CIA that you can't explain must be explained. That is what the Department of Efficiency is all about. That is what Trump wants to cut off. So what they are doing right now is to make sure everything they have in place, they can hold it down for the next 4 years. When the guy go, then they bring back the person they want into American politics, and the system continues. The appointment of Bianca Ojukwu was a speaking point so that when these people finish their investigation, when they go to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it's an Igbo person speaking to them, saying that those things that Simon Ekpa was campaigning for are not genuine. There is no bigger point than that. It's like having a Yoruba nation, and I come from you and I say, oh, let me go and meet with what's this people? Deliver to me. Let's deliver to me, become Minister for Foreign Affairs. And I'm having meeting with Deliver to me, and I'm calling you and saying, wait, I hear you guys are having your Yoruba union, you want to move away from. He said, no, we're not doing it like that. Oh, don't you know me? I'm the wife of I'm just basically I'm the wife of Awolowo. Awolowo was former premier Western region. How can we dare? My husband never wanted that. My husband just wanted us to have the whole. That is all that has happened.
Right.
And plus the investigation. So you have two sources of evidence. When you have three evidence, Ministry of Foreign Affairs says this, their own evidence says that, somehow say a different thing, and that becomes what? That is where it became a problem. However, with regards to rendition, they're not going to rendition him.
No, I don't think
what they may now do is they could put him under house arrest, limit his access to social media. Because if you remember, after his last arrest, they removed his access to his social media. He doesn't have live broadcast anymore on YouTube. People do not realize that. However, on your own side, this is not, don't take it personal.
I'm with you.
Limit the number of new friends you're going to have going forward. Any new friend that become too eager, want to meet you in person, want to like, oh my God, you're having even, I want to attend, just keep disturbing your peace. Just give them space.
That's also one of the move that led to this arrest as well. That's why I said there are some things I've read. I don't want to quickly put them out there yet.
And
until some of
anybody that in the last 1 year, the government has made sure that you will just find out somebody that is maybe that listen to you, call you like I'm calling you on a regular basis now. I would just want to meet you, want to do this, calling you after work. This, before you know it, they are not genuine. Even though they live in Europe for over 50, 60 years. Some of them are just looking for money to cash out and go back home. I'm just telling you, what you're doing has impact. I can tell you, I'm in a lot of groups and I know we're hearing about you. I think the other day you heard me speak outside a bit, so I know.
All right. Again, we are here to possibly just learn from one another, except those who probably are just too little-minded, who are only interested in insulting this or that, except for that. So let me take another one, Baba. Thank you so much, okay, for always. Here, I have, I think this is the Prince Georgieva representing
IPOB for life, Baba.
For life. This is one of the IPOB strongmen in the UK, and indeed of this platform too. Please, the Prince.
Yeah, respect, Baba. We greet you, my good general.
Thank you.
Thank you for the in-depth analysis. You see, where you are giving the message about the happenings of IPOB and what is known today as an autopilot. You know, I really salute you. You went so deep. It's like you have all the catalog with you.
Man, I've been part of it. Have you forgotten? This platform actually paid partly for Nnamdi Kanu's court, legal fees.
Exactly.
So that's why I kind of find myself, I consider myself and some of our listeners on this platform as part and parcel of the Biafran struggle. To some extent. We may not be fully part of it, but we are part of it too.
God bless you, Mayegu.
Amen. And
you know, you said it all. You know, I really salute your consistency. You know, the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu used to make a statement. He said, "If you serve the zoo, you will come back in shame. You know, whether directly or indirectly, you will surely come back in shame." All right. Nobody that will come to you and tell you that he's fighting for your family But the fight that is fighting, and maybe your enemy is coming from that side, and is fighting for you, and at the same time, the fight is inside your family, is where the fight is taking is going on. You know, it's being carried out.
Like we are breaking the TV, we are breaking everything inside the house and all of that.
Inside
Take
the
it outside
house.
now. Take this fight outside. No fight inside here. Kind of.
My bro, thank you. You know what my ego Nnamdi Kanu used to say it. He said if he wants to fight, the fight won't be in Biafra land. He will take it to the north. You understand me? Where the enemies are coming from with the Fulani enhancement terrorists, you know, to attack them. He said this time around, it won't be like the Biafra war, which was fought inside Biafra land.
He said this war will not be fought in Biafra land like it happened there 50 years ago. He said it will be fought in the enemy's territory. They will not fight it in. But unfortunately, these other guys felt otherwise.
My ego, you know what? I am on social media. All the handles is Prince Jejeman. Okay. I risked everything, including my music career, to come out and tell those who are following Simon Ekpa that Simon Ekpa will surely, if he doesn't go to jail, you know that God is not existing. All right. Why did I say that, my ego? Is because you see everything that is all his actions and activities are all aimed. It's like a script written and given to him, okay, from Nigeria government, and he's not acting it from our side, because all that he's doing is to incite the army and the police into Biafra land for them to look for something. You know, he did it so much that in 2022, Nigerian government by Buhari fought, and they now took the name of IPOB into terror index. Our leadership, which these people are saying that is not doing anything, have to fight it, the DOS, and make sure and present everything, because IPOB always give out press release on everything that is happening. You know, anything that is not done by IPOB, all the crimes that are being committed that Simon Ekpa is glorifying, IPOB, at the end, they will call IPOB, they will mention IPOB, they want to attach IPOB name, because who are their targets? Nigerian government knows that IPOB are those fighting genuinely for Biafra land and to restore Biafra nation. You understand? So any activities that is illegal in Biafra land, they want to attach it to the IPOB so that they can see what to hold. Because when they prescribe IPOB by Buhari government, the international government rejected it, and they did not accept it. America didn't accept it, and all the other nations, they didn't accept that IPOB, because they saw us carrying flag. You know, see, all the agents, security agents in the whole world are monitoring what is going on in the world. The world is a global village. You know, if you are into terrorism, don't think that you are not being seen. You have the handset you have in your hand, your laptop can be used to monitor you to anywhere you are. Do you understand? So anything that you are doing, you think that you are just there, you can just carry your phone because you have free speech. You cannot begin to talk anything, incite any kind of violent statement against people. Do this, do that, woto, yeah, and you are in your bedroom doing that. The thing is that I want to say in conclusion is that those who are following him, that are contributing money, those that went to do his referendum online, they should all hide themselves in time, because all their details he has given it out, and they are also following him to jail if they don't take care right now. You understand? Because I've told them surely all that he's doing is against the rule of self-determination. You cannot tell the world that you are fighting for self-determination and you are inciting terrorism. Okay, in commanding people to go and kill, telling them that you have army and this and that. You know. So my good general, thank you for making justice to what is going on. God bless you.
And you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You stay safe, okay? So I have another caller.
It's going on.
So remember, at this point, okay, everyone's view is theirs. I mean, I don't talk my own. So if you call in, okay, and you are expressing your own view, if you disagree with that speaker, you say pick up your phone and come and counter what he's saying. Another person will pick up their phone and counter what they're saying. But if you are smart enough, all right, so you should always know that. Here is emoji. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, sir. MOG.
I keep on saying God bless you so much, you know. God bless you. I love that video you played at the courts. That video. If you notice something there, you know, Simon, it's unfortunate that a lot of our people never use their head anymore because of desperation to be free. It's just like what is happening in the church, you know, pastors giving false hope and people are just buying for it. Sometimes if you're outside, you'll be watching them, you're like, are these guys okay? A back manager will sit at the church and a preacher will be telling him a lot money from anywhere. You're going to get money. So, spiritual money. So thank you so much. Spiritual alert. So that's what it looks like. Like from the first caller, that guy, what he said, he made a point there. They're going to pull everything down, that all their instruments they are using against this last this last administration. They need to pull everything down. They want to hide a little bit low. But that is not the issue. The issue is that I want to hit our people and remember our people what Nnamdi Kanu said. Because Nnamdi Kanu, sometimes he is aggressive, but he never killed. He never point out to kill anybody. Like he say, let me go and kill my own people. Sometimes that's a time he said something about sit at home, but later he said no. Let's shift it this day because of that. I think there's children want to do something, or maybe there's something. He now shifted it.
There was a Wike examination that day, so he had to cancel it. I remember. Yeah.
There's also on a program, somebody now called him and said, what if this sit at home comes and there's it's on weekend, what will you do? He said, we will do it on Monday. But in the issue of Simon Ekpa never look at that to show you that every sign shows that Simon Ekpa is working against the structure of Nnamdi Kanu. If you're coming to blackmailing, he's like what JJ Man just said. All these names he's talking about, he has it. And if you watch his moves, he's a modum apprendum. He always like to blackmail people. He has the truth is that Nnamdi Kanu talk with this guy. So that's why people are pushing Nnamdi Kanu to mention his name at the court. He will not mention his name at the court. And he said it indirectly. Because he will not be able outside to defend himself when this thing comes. Because Simon Ekpa is a blackmailer. And Allah Ejimako, he's a lawyer. He's also hiding something. But our people are so gullible that they believe this man. Nobody will enforce sit at home or anything in Biafra land. Biafran agitation is ideology. It's just like up NEPA in Nigeria. So anybody that is an Igbo man, we cannot preach him about Biafra. They know it already. So and we got to be free. But killing our own people in our own land. Then another thing, if this arrest of Simon Ekpa is genuine, that means it's another lie. Because he lied to them, his followers, that he bought fighter jets. Mayegumi and you know that Buhari went and bought fighter jets from America. America told him how to use it and where to use it. So how can these people believe Simon Ekpa, a private person, that he bought a private fighter jet? He said he bought warship. In which water did he anchor this ship? People believe him. He will lie in the morning, he will say another thing in the afternoon. All raising money and killing people. I told somebody 3 days ago, like your first caller said, that if you watch 2 days ago, he's not posted. I told somebody something is wrong somewhere. And the next thing we see again, let us mark my word, all those boys that are doing that thing, that are killing those people, we know their name. you will see they will kill them very soon in a hotel or in a house where they are keeping them. Hopus or them, Devumai, they are all there, but they will all get down because Simon Ekpa had deceived our people and he killed a lot of people. But people are now getting so much emotional that he's fighting for Biafra. Simon Ekpa is not fighting for Biafra. Anytime they say something about positive about Nnamdi Kanu, you will see this guy. He will intensify his attack. You know, so but now let's see how it goes. Thank you so much, Mayegu. Thank you for your courage for saying all this thing. Ignore all the insults. Ignore all the insults. You're saying the right thing.
Well,
no Igbo man is supporting the killing.
And everybody has the right to say their own too. Emoji. Thank you so much. Let me take another one, okay? So again, like I said, you all have the right to speak your mind, and in my own book, right? I will let you speak your mind in a way that you find it pretty much convenient. I won't deny the fact that what I mentioned from the beginning of that chat, which was that the whole breakup in relationship of the real IPOBs, as well as Simon Ekpa and his own group and all that, that barrier of difference has been widened for over a year now. And of course, if this conversation tonight has attracted some of you to this program, you are free to express yourself, and all of us are listening. Hello.
Hello, Mayego.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. Oh, thanks for asking.
Mayego, this is Odogu again. You remember I spoke yesterday.
Odogu, my man. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great.
Thank you very much,
now,
please.
With the issues about Simon Ekpa, imagine someone like me, you know my situation as I narrated yesterday, and what is going on in the Southeast. You see, people always look at people always look at reaction. Nobody looks at action. You know,
Whenever there is an action, there is an expected counter reaction. I'm with you.
Correct. If you slap me now, you are not expecting me to give you the same proportion of slap, because I'm going to make it hard for you. So the person who is slapping back gives it hard. And the only language Nigerian government understands is force. The same force they give. People are seeing Simon Ekpa. I'm just playing the devil's advocate.
I'm with you.
People are looking at what he's doing, but nobody is looking at what happened. Why is Simon Ekpa here? You are holding Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerian, the entire Southeast is surrounded by terrorists who are collecting what is it called? You know, the jizya, right? The taxes that non-Muslims pay to Christians, non-Muslims pay to Muslims in the Southeast. You know, that is what is going on. People see these things as military or police collecting money. Those extortions is a task. It's a tax that
and if it's just about extortion, it won't be that painful, but including the murderous violence that has been unleashed on the people there. I am with you on that. But the extension of that violence to civilians is where everyone feels a little bit like pushed back. Won't you agree, Odogu?
Yeah, I do. But there's also another factor to it. Remember that the government will do anything. Nigerian government, when they start lying, you know that something is going on. Nigerian government cannot just watch anything that are involved in this, that are also making this whole experience, giving it another trajectory, which a lot of people are not seeing. And Nigerian government wouldn't mind.
Sorry, I'm with you. You're there. So Dogu. Are you there? That's an extra. I don't know. Can you still hear me? Or because we can't hear you anymore? Now that's one problem about I think WhatsApp calls. If you should receive another call while you are calling the WhatsApp, through the WhatsApp, it's probably just going to. You are still very much on the line, but it's just that we can't hear you anymore. No, that's not right, man. And I actually wanted to hear his side. Okay. Now we have lost him. I think that's another. Hello. Now we have lost him. Hello, can you hear me? That's another. Okay. I'm just going to take a look.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
I just took yours. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine, good. How are you too?
Well, I'm very well. Thank you very much for asking. Please.
You see, this Nigerian government. Me, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking from another side. My own thinking is always different, you know.
And I'm interested in hearing it.
Anytime they do make a move, I don't see their move to be an intentional thing to save.
Of course.
You know this Frank Ekpa, or what do they call him? I don't know. Sam Ekpa, or what do they call him?
Yeah,
Simon Ekpa, or what do they call him? Yeah. I've had that belief in my mind that he's working with an insider with the government. I don't see him as being real. That's my own opinion.
I don't think so, but a lot of people want to believe that. But anyway, say your
from
mind.
the actions, because his actions tells a lot. You understand me?
Okay.
When you do when you bring out an action that will make people to judge you in a kind of way, you don't blame them for judging you in a kind of way because your actions is not telling what they expect of you. You understand? Now I hope if just like you said they're not bringing him back, and I want to believe that, and I will love that honestly.
Yeah, by all available data proves that number one is a Finnish citizen, which means that number two, the Finland won't release their citizen to anybody. But based on the terrorism accusation, if he should be found guilty of it, they can revoke his citizenship.
They are bringing him back.
The another thing is that Finland doesn't have any extradition agreement with Nigeria.
With us. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
now, a lot of people are feeling they will bring him back. Are they bringing him back for good? Wait, let's just assume they find him guilty. Or they revoke his citizenship? Are they bringing him back for good, or are they bringing him back to work against Nnamdi Kanu?
Okay. Well,
because I like thinking out of the box, because they might. I don't know why they are holding in Nnamdi Kanu. Are they looking for somebody to come and testify against him? I'm just trying to put one on one together. I'm not seeing from the angle people are saying. Because if really they want to release this man, they would have released. They have no reason to be holding in Nnamdi Kanu. Why all of a sudden the mighty Samuel Ekpa they could not hold then, that they raised a lot of issues about him. They could all of a sudden they have held him down. He has been making noise. Nobody's paying. The government is not even paying attention to him for a long time that he was making noise. All of now that they are on the neck to bring him back.
Something, man. A quick one. They have never taken their mind off him. Let me tell you something. You see that narrative that people have been saying that. There are people who believe that he's working for government. From my own my own little findings, right? It's not true that he's working with them because they have been making efforts. They've summoned the Finland ambassador to Nigeria, at least that I know of, because of him 3 times. They have met with the supposed, I think maybe their president or prime minister in Finland outside Nigeria, right? Twice. They have sent delegation because of him. They have sent delegation to Finland to go and meet the government because of him. So they couldn't be working for them, as some people are postulating, and they will be pushing all of that. I like it as you are saying you are thinking outside the box. Nothing is impossible. It's Nigeria.
I'm just thinking out because this government, this government, they always have a long-term plan for evil. When you think, this is what they want to do, there's nothing this government, any efforts they make that they don't have a plan B as an evil plans on their table.
I'm with you.
If they give you 1 million, now know that the next 20 heads of your 10 billion is moving out of your every citizen. So everything they do is intentional. They always if you can, they work with stooge a lot. It's clear all over there. Nobody is seeing it. This is they work with stooge a lot. Why would they be holding in Nnamdi Kanu? Are they looking for witness to come and testify against this guy? They will intense his case or what? Are they looking for who to bargain with? To rob Nnamdi Kanu in the mall. So that's the angle I'm thinking of. I'm not even thinking, because I see that if there's no need for, if this guy has not really done the way to the other person, you were saying that I was Okorocha, he was begging Okbabe that for what they cost. Don't forget that people that brought this rubbish to Igbo land is William Biano, Okorocha, Enugu State, because of their selfishness, because of election, they will not be elected in Igbo land. And they raised Operation Python Dance. Have you forgotten?
Python Dance.
That was how it started. You understand me? They now raised Operation Python Dance, and that was how the whole mess started. And now all of them are walking freely on the streets, calling the current governors. Although Hope is included in it because he continued. You understand me? So now, therefore, they were all, the 5 of them made a meeting, and they caused this about the Python dance. And now they are doing as if nothing. And look at Okocha begging, doing as if nothing happened. While you people were the people that went to meeting at Enugu when this Operation Python dance was signed. Now, Nigerians are very quick to forget. They're forgetting it. They are talking about Eastern God. Let's start from their roots. The people that caused it. They should start calling out people that caused it because they're not in it now. Now, I'm still saying it tomorrow. I don't know. We know that what is happening in the East is not just one person's move. No. It's not just IPOB move. We know there's something that somebody took advantage of. And who took advantage of that thing must have been working in, government is big. It can be any other person in the government. You will never can tell. It might not be the government as a whole.
The agent of government.
I pray God will sort out things in no time.
My lady.
That's the angle I'm thinking of. Let nobody come and make a deal with Ekpa to come and testify against Nnamdi Kanu. That's my own case. Thank you.
See, thank you so much. Okay, your point is valid, just like everyone else. Speak your own mind. If you disagree with somebody's point, the ideal thing is, if you are lucky, pick up the phone and call in. Tell us probably, from your own point of view. Okay. There are some times that you hear some people's perspective and it may sound so unbelievable to you. Somebody said that Nnamdi Kanu is now a saint. Majority of people are against him and all of that. Of course, that's on record. Because then Nnamdi Kanu was dreaded. People were imagining what would happen if all the things Nnamdi Kanu was saying should come to pass. For example, Nigeria, Somalia will be better than, Somalia will be like paradise to Nigeria if the Nigerian government should come to the eastern part of Nigeria. If you kill us, we will kill you. All this talk at the time, they were so strong vibe that even those who were Igbos who remember the genocidal war, a lot of them could only imagine what will happen if Nnamdi Kanu and all he's saying should come to pass. That's the difference. Today, if you go to Simon Ekpa's social media, you will see videos of people who are recording this, this talk of is maybe the government are trying to change the narrative. Used to be like a thing, but it doesn't work that way anymore, except if you are just living in denial. There is this guy, they call them BLA. You see, we used to see videos of ESN in the forest, chasing cows, and the Fulani others, they will be running away. But now we don't usually see that anymore. What we are seeing now are these guys that will dress in black, holding guns, burning cars, making videos. Sit at home. We told you to sit at home. You are not sitting at home. We will kill you. We just told you this. You don't know. We are, yeah. And all these videos are glorified, amplified by Simon. So you cannot pretend that you are not seeing that and come onto my Ego's diary now and begin to kind of like try to act as if to say Simon and Nnamdi Kanu are the same. They are not. There was never a time that IPOB supporters or IPOB followers were making videos on the streets of Igbo land, chasing people. There's never a video of that. Today, if you go to Simon's social media, especially Twitter, you will see his videos of how people who have been killed, vigilantes or civilians or their cars burned. Because people will be, these guys will make videos. They are making videos of how they are dealing with people who disobeyed them. We told you to sit at home. We told you to stay at home. Why are you coming out? We told you this and that. They will, I mean, don't deny that. Don't come here and begin to sound like Nnamdi Kanu and NEPA are actually the same in this manner. They are not. Here is the caller. Hello.
Hello, General.
Hey.
Good evening.
Mr. the African Wahala. How are you, Baba?
Yes, sir. I'm doing very well. What about you?
Question. Hang on. MN is asking me a question. Does that mean, what are you talking about? Are you actually trying to be funny, man? What are you talking about? I am telling you that, okay, he is posting their video, celebrating that, amplifying that, telling them that this is what this, what that. And you are asking me that question, that does that mean that he sent them? Are you trying to be funny? Are you kind of trying to be clever by half? What kind of question is that? Is it that, African Walla, you remember that time when easily we say, oh, these guys are sponsored by DSS. Oh, it was the DSS that are going after the people. But no, we're talking about something that he is celebrating himself. He is posting that to say today or on their sit at home or see what we have done. And you are asking me the question that does that mean that I send them? Say your mind, Baba.
No mind on these people, Jerry. At the end of the day, right? Human beings, it's just our psychological makeup as humans. We have the tendency to become irrational and illogical and worship other people, especially when you find that these other people, maybe they have some social influence or some status, and you wish you had what they had. So you begin to idolize them. Another reason is people, when people are hopeless and they need guidance, they need security, they are completely hopeless. They grasp onto anything that looks like a ray of hope. They will grasp onto it. And anybody that is on top of that situation will be worshipped. That's why people love worshiping other people. So at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to not put anybody on a pedestal where they cannot be criticized.
Into prison. I actually spend my time here by saying that I know that a lot of our people are really, really angry with the system. But please don't celebrate the prison break. Please don't. They want you to celebrate it. And if you look at the whole scenario of how it happened, it couldn't have been IPOB. It doesn't make any sense. The prison is not far from the government house. These guys have declared war on the IPOB. Yet they spend hours in prison to break the prison. It doesn't make sense. But some of them still wanted this celebrated. It's us. We did it. I was like, it doesn't make sense. So if somebody now spend all his time celebrating all this carnage, you understand what I mean? Celebrating and giving the order that if they burn you well, don't pretend, man. That can be something that all of us can just act and pretend that it's not happening or it didn't happen.
People just need to try and take 10 seconds before you react to something. You can't just put someone or any human being on a level where they cannot be criticized. You can't do that. Everybody is fallible. And for that reason, you have to be careful how you adore people. That's how we ended up talking about our African society. most of us ended up worshiping pastors, imams, worshiping criminal politicians, worshiping people that destroy our lives. So it's our responsibility as people to take a few seconds, analyze the situation in front of you, and then come to a logical conclusion. If you see something that is wrong, acknowledge that it's wrong. Don't just say, no, this guy, no, I'm going to worship this guy for the rest of my life. Don't do that. But yeah, that's my call. Also, I want to encourage the people that, you really have something to say to Mayego. You disagree with him because of what he said. I can teach you how to get through on the call. Okay. So right before you notice someone is about to be done speaking, start making that call and keep on calling aggressively. You're going to get through so that we can hear your opinion.
Yep.
We want to hear you guys that have something, you disagree with Mayego, you're angry, call in. I'm just showing you how to do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. The African Wahala. And indeed, you can also please call in. It's just WhatsApp call only, okay? And you will be speaking to me. Hello there.
Hello, Mario. Good evening.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Grand.
I can see you are doing very good.
You sure? I don't think everybody agrees. Some people felt like I am here because I don't like Simon or I don't like this or that. Meanwhile, I am only calling the attention of everyone to what could have been so avoidable if everybody has been like, well, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, for me, you are doing good. Even if I have a question I want to ask you, you are doing good. I want to ask you a question.
Please.
Do you know Iko Media?
I call him Inoki. He's a very useless person. What's your question?
Okay. My question is the way you narrate your own things or do your own things. It must be the way me will do my own.
I don't think so. It shouldn't.
Level of our reasoning, are they the same?
I don't think they can be the same. No.
Do you ever hear when Onongo men kill policemen? Nnamdi Kanu said that he thanked the angels who did the work. Have you heard that from Nnamdi Kanu?
I've never seen that.
Okay, go back to 2018 Nnamdi Kanu broadcast.
Okay.
Starting from February to March ending, search for the TV. Let's know whether you find it. That is number one question. Then number two, do you hear when Nnamdi Kanu said that they withdraw all the Nigerian army in Biafra land and they all die in Biafra land, and when they go back, they will see a place they will call their own? Do you hear that?
Well, I remember hearing that, yeah.
You hear that, right? Did you hear that Nnamdi Kanu said that a time will come when they are going to form Biafra government in exile? Do you hear from Nnamdi Kanu?
I never heard that from him.
Okay, I want to still remind you to go back to before he was kidnapped, a month before he was kidnapped. Check this question I'm asking you now.
Right.
Then I also want to ask you another question before I will say my own comment, because for me, I stand with Simon Ekpa clearly. I want you to know, because I don't hide myself. One, who is talking to have sub-government of Nigeria in Southeast, precisely in the Imo State. Do you hear that a policeman killed a DSS man for non-government? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that was the early stage.
You saw that? Yes. Before Simon Ekpa emerged, Biafra struggling to join this liberation the way he's doing it now. Before him, Biafran people, Nigeria government or army, are they killing Nigerians already? Are killing Biafrans before he joined?
Absolutely. They were.
Do you know about Mpo massacre?
I know about
Do
that.
you hear about Obibo?
I did a piece on that, or many pieces on that as well. Yep.
So a lot of. So why I'm asking, because I am an insider between when it was an IPOB. And did you know that an IPOB, that I am a member of IPOB. Once I am, IPOB means indigenous people of Biafra. Is it what it means?
That's what it means, yeah.
can you use organization and get a freedom, or can you use a state, a country, and get a freedom?
Well, I am not a freedom fighter, but yes, you can use an organization.
Fine.
Yes, you can use an organization to possibly get your
for your own own understanding.
Yeah.
Yes. Next in Mandela, did they call him a terrorist?
Well, it was called a terrorist, of course.
Fine. Yes. Your brother Sunday Boho, did Nigeria government call him a terrorist when they kidnapped, when they arrested him? Did they do that?
It wasn't called a terrorist.
But what did they call him when he was arrested?
Well, it was called a non-state actor. It was called. Can I ask you some questions too, or I want you to finish asking your own questions, okay? So, do you still have
my own remain? Yes, I have. I have more too. Then before we summarize, then I will allow you to ask me also.
Okay.
In freedom fighting or self-defense, does it mean you will use empty hand, and when somebody slaps you with a knife, then you use broom and sweep his leg? Is it what it means?
Self-defense just means to defend yourself, and whatever you can use, of course.
Fine. So why I ask this question? I want to simply understand that for me, who has worked as a commander in Nigeria, that I am among people who run away from Nigeria because I refuse to kill IPOB members. Then I have to run away from Nigeria. I run to the country where I am now. That is me talking to you, because I have seen. Do you know what they tell us?
What?
Every Monday they fuel our motor, give us money. We patrolling on the road, and anybody we see, we flog that person. We date with him and claim that he's an IPOB. Then that is doing it. The time of Nnamdi Kanu, did you hear when they say that there was a trailer of food items was born in somewhere in Southeast? Do you hear that?
Well, I did hear that. Yeah.
Is it Simon and his boy did that thing? Then
I don't think so. You see, I think I have an idea where all these your questions are going. They are kind of like unrelated. But let me ask you something as well.
Okay.
When
go on.
When Nnamdi Kanu said that they would go after the invaders, was he referring to the civilians in Igbo land that disobeyed him as enemies? Was he referring to the civilians, or was he referring to?
No,
was he referring to the supposed? Because around that time, was he referring to the Fulani, Hausa Fulani soldiers that were kind of drafted to the eastern Nigeria, or he was referring to civilians, the Igbos?
He's referring to the Nigeria police, not to the Nigeria armies, not even Hausa Fulanis.
Okay, is that the interpretation you finally gave to it, including the Igbos? Because you mean, right?
No, do you know why I said so? Because he called for any Igbo man who is in army and police to resign. Did he do that?
Yeah, he did. He did call them to resign. Yep.
So why did he call for them to resign? Is it not for them not to be killed?
Okay. So and those
is it not for them to kill?
You know, those that didn't, they are like what do you call it? Not civilians. Are they civilians?
Let me use one thing to back you up now on this question.
No, I still have
when there
question,
was
I still
NSAS,
have another one. Even though
I am answering you.
Okay, I'm gone.
Yes.
When Mandela was called a terrorist by the UK government, it was actually the UK government that called him. It was in fact Thatcher that called him a terrorist. Was the ANC at the time, right? Were they killing South Africans because they didn't listen to Mandela?
A lot of in our South Africa appetite regime,
because it is a straightforward
people died. People died, but I don't know who killed them. But people died.
Because you asked me that did they call him terrorist? At the time, there's a armed wing. I'll say it to you. Hang on. There was an armed wing of the ANC.
Yes.
They were practically going after the whites. Okay,
Yes.
they were going after the whites in South Africa. They were not going after blacks.
Yes.
There were blacks. They were also
Yes.
in support of the apartheid. And there was no
Yes.
record that ANC called them
Yes.
saboteurs, betrayers, or killed them. There's no record. So you asking me that was Mandela ever called a terrorist? Yes, he was called a terrorist by the whites because the ANC, armed wing of ANC at the time, were actually going after the whites. So using this same narrative here, brother, I do not have any problem with the approach awareness of a lot of what some of you have done, okay, in that space, all right? I am aware of the unknown gunmen when it all started. It was totally political, okay? And we know the political ones that they actually sponsored to go out there and do stuff. But what we are saying now is that if the people we are fighting for their freedom are being gunned down on the street, on the road, and we are making videos of them, is it proper, in all fairness, to still claim that it is done by unknown government when we know that it's not done by unknown government? Is it proper?
Because why I won't answer that question, because I don't know who is who, because when they do protests, when they do NSAS, I'm coming. No.
Wait. Okay. You know about the BLA and when they make their videos.
Yeah.
I am speaking from.
Yes.
I have stood on this platform, okay, to defend.
I know you from 2019.
To defend all these lies of unknown government. I said they are political. Until I started seeing videos of our own people making videos warning civilians. They are not soldiers. You get that now? These are not soldiers. These are not Igbo policemen or what have you, like you said, right? I'm talking about civilians who get caught up in the crossfire. Tell me you haven't seen that. That would be so much like.
I didn't say I did not see that too. But I want to ask, I want to say this.
Yourself, how do you feel? Does that correlate with what you believe in as a person who have fought, in fact, who have sacrificed his own freedom to have to leave that place? Does some of those things you have seen lately, do they correlate with your belief at all?
For me, yes, because they said obedient is better than sacrifice. Exactly when they say don't go, one they don't go out, you go out. Whatever you see is what you take.
That's really
obedient is better than sacrifice. When they said stay away from this place, you have to stay away. Then I also want to clear one thing from you.
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu form ESN, we all know, right?
Yes, he did.
And he said, do you hear when he said that the time will come when we are going to form our army? Do you hear that?
Yeah, I remember.
Do you hear that Nnamdi Kanu was in prison, asked that Simon Ekpa should give a slot on Radio Biafra? Do you hear that?
I've said that as well. I hear that too.
Yes. Do you know that now Simon and Nnamdi Kanu also said that Simon has come to bring a new dimension. We had it from Nnamdi, and he also said that we must listen to him and share his program accordingly.
Yeah.
That's what is it. I hope you had this. And now Nnamdi Kanu has formed ESN, and he said a time will come, we form our army, and Simon has formed the Army of Biafra Liberation. That is BNLA, like you said. Right. So why I make all these references or ask all these questions is that I want to tell you that the way you rule your house is not the way I rule my house. Okay. The way you say things is not the way I say things. And I also want to say this: the way we Africans see things is not the way the European world see things. Simon Ekpa is still remaining in Finland, a citizen of Finland. Yeah. As of now, this matter that is boiling up now, has this matter been concluded?
You asking me? No, it's not. It's still very much at the early stage.
Okay. So, and the same people now who called him back for this matter is the same people who called him time of P2B when this incitement started. Is it not them? So I want to tell our people, never you dance a music, say, I will kill this person has come to the end of the road, where you are not the one who will judge the matter. We are going to be listening from here to Finland and hear how they will judge Simon. Is it not true?
Well, that is fair, yeah.
And there is things for your own eyes. You see it as these things, they are good this way. In my own eyes, I would say they are bad. Is it not my own opinion?
Well, that would be your opinion. You're right.
Why I say that you are
like taking.
Do you know why I say?
I'm gonna.
Do you know why I say that? Okay.
You passively just felt like once people disobeyed you, whatever they see is their choice. I don't think that's human enough, Baba. Don't you think? Like if I disobey you, whatever I see, I should take it like a civilian. That is, don't you think that is pretty much like extreme? Is that the kind of Biafra you want to actually and give to people?
That is why I said no. See, do you know why I said this?
Tell me.
That is why I said that things that I am happy to do is not things that you're happy to do.
Okay.
That I want you to understand this area I'm going now, because for me, I hope I just find it a little bit extreme, I hope I hope you see me that I come out clear and I told you that even to this moment I stand with Simon and what he's doing, because that is what Nigeria government need to hear. Simon is not killing any civilian in Biafra land. I want to tell you this: those who are killing civilian in Biafra land and Nigeria and their police and the agents are the one killing civilians. So, as you see Simon gone, those things the whole time was only meant for Nigeria police, Nigeria army. I want to ask you this: have you ever one day see Biafra Liberation Army on the road who said, today we are patrolling, we want to kill army? Have you seen them?
No, except when they are actually doing it. I've seen their videos.
No. I said, have you? If they ask you in Biafra land, where you see who are those who has armor tankers in Biafra land that is coming? Is it Simon or Biafra or Nigeria government?
See, we are not kids here. Okay. See, some of these questions are a little bit far-fetched. Okay. Asking me if have I ever seen the tanker and all. I'm talking about those who made videos themselves of shooting at civilians, not the soldiers. I've seen them ransacked checkpoints. Okay, these were those who had guns. I'm talking about civilians who were caught in the whole crossfire.
Okay, fine.
You told them to stay at home if they disobeyed, whatever they see. And I think that's pretty much answered it all. But I love this engagement though. Let's give another people a chance, okay? Thank you so much for calling.
Okay. All right.
You have a good one, Baba. Nice one. I mean, this is it. You know, we can agree to disagree in a way, but my own point is just that the type of freedom that people would love, in my own opinion, should be the kind of freedom where if I disagree with you, okay, it shouldn't be a death sentence for me. Okay, if you want me to sit at home and I said I'm not sitting at home, in a democratic society, that shouldn't be a death warrant. Or it seems like people don't see it that way. And fair enough. If that is a matter of, you know, people have they don't really have a say, which is the reason why we are here now. Okay, the fact that civilians have been caught. When Nnamdi Kanu spoke about the armed soldiers, you know, killing the people in eastern Nigeria, kidnapping them, destroying their properties and all of that, eventually people are going to fight back. So if you have an army to fight for the people, ordinarily the training should include, if I see gun in your hand, it is my duty to fight you. But if I don't see you with a gun, there's no point in shooting at you. But it seems that not everybody agrees to that in this manner. But let me take this. Hello.
How you doing, General? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, Saulu.
How are you doing? How are you doing, sir? How are you doing?
I am very well. Oh. And yourself?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking. And you know, I don't know how come you are tonight, but the last speaker, this question.
When you know that blood is boiling right now. From us.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just have to be
it's understandable
in that regard. I cannot be boiling too. It will just be
it's understandable.
Even though I'm trying to be calmer and be balanced, there are so many people who don't agree with me on that. They still believe that, yeah, you are on this side, you are not on that side and all that. But it is what it is.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, I follow Kanu very, very well when he started, when he went to America. Yeah, and he's got the legitimacy of his people at that time. And we have made a lot of, you know, a lot of broadcast about this. You've analyzed things very well. And you've asked people what you know what their opinions are. I support what they are doing, you know, you know, trying to agitate for their people. But in my own opinion, like I've said on your program before, the moment people come out and you tell them that if you don't sit at home, I'm going to kill you, that is the extremist view. And this is my view, to be honest. And I think that's the only thing that changes the, you know, the whole thing in the Southeast. And it's a shame, really, because we want peace, you know, everywhere in Nigeria, including the Southeast. And I think that's the moment. You know, my moment, to be honest, is when you harm people under a government, a sitting government, when you harm people. If you use your legitimacy of your people to control them, to tell them what to do, to open their eyes, like what you are doing on your program on daily basis, and we appreciate that. That is fine. But when you then give guns to people, you might not be able to control them. And that's what we've got now, that, you know, people want to go on their daily basis, children want to go to school. But you go out there and start telling them, you know, I'm going to force you to sit at home. And the last speaker was saying that is okay. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. But you know, this tempo of truth that we, you know, we say what our opinions.
In that. So I will just engage with you and be like, okay, right? Because a lot of people are listening to us, you know, including children, man.
Yeah, I know. I think they are very brave men, Simon, and I don't see much difference in them. But it's just forcing people to, Simon and Kanu, just forcing people to, because not everybody, like we voted in the UK to leave the EU, almost 50-50. Some people disagree, some people say yes, but you can't force people to support what you are saying.
That mindset that there will always be people that will not support it. So how do you win them over? That should be your call, you know, but
don't let me take your time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much as well. Okay, let me take this. I have no, our time is almost up, but let's keep hopefully let's make it snappy. Hello there.
Thank you very much.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello, my police. How you doing, man?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm okay.
Grant, you might need to please mute the broadcast behind so that we can hear ourselves, okay?
Oh, okay,
Yes, sir.
You can hear me better now.
Better, yes, I can.
Yeah. My name is Michael. I'm speaking from the United States.
Hi, Michael.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. All this thing that is going on is really pathetic, though. But you know, I see and I read a whole lot of comments here, you know. I would like for now just to hide my identity. But trust me, I happen to be one of the insider in the IPOB here in America, you know.
Oh, bless you, man.
And I know I can tell you, you know, with all confidence that I know what I know, you know what I'm saying? So you see this from the onset, Samuel Ekpa was working with our leader and all the stuff. So, but but the DOS, all this thing that are happening now, DOS cost everything. Because personally, to me, they don't have a leadership skill. When Kanu was rendition, I was expecting them to be able to bring everybody together. But they never did
that too. Like the whole thing was so mismanaged that it became, you know, it became so. I mean, well, it led us here, Sha. That's it.
Yeah, they failed woefully. And then I was actually taking record. I was just watching what is going to happen and all those stuff. At the time, I started seeing ESN that Kanu organized then. ESL started coming out from their camp to come and look for food. To come and look for food. But that was the end. That was when the whole thing. That was the beginning of the end.
Right.
You know, you can imagine somebody that is in a camp coming back home to come and look for food. You know, that was, you know, I now began to see the reason why Samuel Ekpa took over the whole struggle. And again, Samuel Ekpa in himself, you know, is Kanu has also put a seal on him that people should they should give him a slot because Kanu saw something inside of him, but these people refuse. My God, there's a lot happened.
I know
that I might not be able to tell you here. Trust me, a lot happened. I'll just say it point blank that these people sold Kanu. You know, there's a lot. There's so many things happening. Even right now, they're even taking Kanu brothers to court in Germany. Why? Because of the money, 500 or 700,000 euro that they're trying to bring out.
Right.
You know, a whole lot of things has really went wrong. I know that was why if you see me, I wrote a comment here. I said, Bible, I understand there's so many things you don't know. You know, I wouldn't blame anybody if they can just come out and say anything. Everybody can, you know, it's a free war, you know. There's so many things happen. These people messed up the struggle. Even like, you know, at the time we got to not understand that some of them are sharing money behind and all. You know, it's so pathetic, you know. I also just like I was following the Yoruba struggle too. I remember when what's the name of this elderly man that was spearheading with Igboho? The man, I think the man was, yeah, the man wanted to use you to raise fund at a particular time. Because I was following, I was really deep in the struggle, both Yoruba nation, Biafra. I was listening to Yedara, I was listening to every one of them at work, at office, every time. I was just there, you know, because I really want out, you know what I'm saying? So, but these people at the time, I saw how they played you, how they started complaining, how they started, even Koiki, I was following Koiki and all that. I said, but if all this is a long story, you see all those things that transpire, just something like that would also happen in IPOB, you know.
You see, that is why I have not taken you know, that credit away from the young man, Simon himself. Okay, so one thing is just that we wouldn't be here, okay, if in the last 1.5 years or so, right, the whole struggle did not lead to civilians becoming casualty of the struggle. That seems to have been the Achilles heel. In fact, it is what these guys are holding on to. When they got him last year, right, he categorically told them, I'm fighting for my people, speaking out for them. They had no reason to hold him, remember? Because it's not nothing wrong. Saying something doesn't mean that he's doing anything wrong, right? But this time around, the last 1 year, we've had the same people that we were supposed to be kind of like speaking for, fighting for, right, subjected to this level of violence. And it's justified. He glorified it. A lot of us are simply talked away in all this part of the world, right? And if the people who are kind of, who are already under the siege of the Nigerian, you know, autocratic occupation, guess that, right, are also facing or getting caught in the crossfire of the people who are supposed to be fighting for them. No matter how much people like to deny that, Simon never denied it. Go up to his social media. It's there. You get what I mean now? We used to kind of say unknown government this, unknown government that. But it seems to be like so, you know, was craving for that, you know, to glorify all this violence in a way that people were supposed to be speaking for him again. Then they had reasons to justify why, you know, he can't be speaking for us. That's the bone of contention here. And that's actually why he's being held as we speak. It's not because he's fighting for Biafra, remember? It's not because he had all these issues with all these guys.
No, he actually arrested him. He was actually arrested because of all these killings and all those. And I understand. You see, based on that, I think the Nigerian government, you know, they played a card for him, and he fell into it.
You get what I mean? Because this is the point I'm trying to make to everyone here, that we wouldn't even be here, right? We wouldn't be here. We all have this free speech, okay? But you see this today on social media, you can be held for incitement. And if they now kind of dig further and realize that it's not just incitement, you are actually ferrying cash to some of these guys. That's an implication. That's what people need to know now.
Yeah.
You get what I mean now? Like, everything is done great. It's kind of push it even beyond where Nnamdi Kanu, was yet to push it to. When the people, the civilians, becomes the victim of the struggle, then it becomes complicated. Don't you think?
Yeah, you're right. See, my good. The thing is, I understand all what you just said, which is very correct.
It would have denied it. It would have just pretended. Even I'm just saying this one now, not to make it.
No, it's true. It's
it
true.
would have pretended that he's not even seeing all those things. Come out and like IPOB would do, deny it.
Yeah,
it was glorifying it.
He made a mistake, but the way to me personally, I think the thing got into his head.
You get.
So, yeah,
and this is what some of those who are following him are not actually thinking. They are not reasoning that way.
No.
This is not about his personality of, you may not like him. People may not like his. I mean, a lot of people didn't like Nnamdi Kanu too, right?
Yeah.
People may kind of feel jealous of him. They may feel intimidated by his personality. There are some level of, there's some things that other people could be promoting them, right? And not you, the central figure at the end of it all. So he played into their hands. And back in the days, people would defend and say, no, he knows nothing about it. But he actually does know a lot about it.
Yeah, but there's something I want to tell you. This Samalepa thing, and I could remember when Kanu told them to give him a slot.
Yeah.
So he can continue the broadcast.
And they started talking about him swearing to vote, swearing to this and that. They mismanaged all of that, I believe. They did.
So they actually want to box him. They actually want to box him, because I started following him even before Kanu. He got to the very period he came into the struggle. So the DOS actually wanted to box him in a corner so they can tell him what to say.
They felt intimidated by his media presence and personality.
Something like that. But it cannot happen like that, because the power Kanu wanted him to have is to then I could remember Kanu used to do question and answer and all those things. He takes care of the media and all those stuff. But these guys don't want Samalepa to fall into that position. They feel how can it be Samalepa? Yeah. We have been here and all that and all that.
I know.
And that was the beginning of the whole end.
That was when things started going south.
Yeah, that was where they missed it. So at the time in our meeting, I will ask the question. Because if I tell you I'm an insider, I'm an insider. There's so many things I cannot tell you here. These people, they really messed up so many things. And a lot of people started leaving. Now we started having fractions in America. I will receive phone calls, secret phone call. Michael, can you come to our meeting? I said, which meeting? What is going on? At the time I had to stay in my house. I'm not in America to come and I have family. You understand what I'm saying? So, but the whole thing is that Samalepa, I would say he didn't apply a lot of wisdom in his.
Carried away. You said it. Some people believe that it's a youth exuberance and all of that. And that's the point I'm trying to make from the beginning as well. That we wouldn't be here. Okay, we wouldn't be here. See, I've had a lot of push where people wanted me to actually be more than this, or in most cases, I kind of feel like, see, it is not my own calling, all right? And if I ever find myself in that situation, in that position, okay, there are some certain things that I will intentionally not promote. Let other people promote them, and I will use my platform to deny them. It works that way, so that we don't play into the hands of those who have been looking for what to justify why they have been killing the Biafrans. So, thank you so much, Let me take another one and call it a night. Our time, we spent a lot of it on this Simon Ekpa of a thing. And like I said, I really did wish that it never got to this stage. But here we are.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
You stay safe, Michael. Thank you so much, okay? You have a good one.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Now, I think I'm going to take just one more. Oh my God, we've actually overshoot our time. But I hope this is my last caller. You are going to be my last caller this evening, Tony. Can you hear me? Oh, you got dropped off. Lucky you that you are still pretty much on the line. Hello.
Hello, Michael. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
How are you?
Yeah, fine. Okay, thanks for being objective as ever this evening.
Thanks.
But let's just realize something. If we have to be objective here, this man is still our brother, but unfortunately, he walked into the trap that was set for him. He is being glorifying and gloating about violence, and you now tell me that he's trying to defend his people. I know somebody personally during the sit at home. They poured this woman's rice, the little thing she was selling in front of her house, beat her mercilessly. Nothing was done. It was never addressed. Is that the kind of Nigeria that
whose wares were being destroyed? So I don't know if you saw that video of vegetable sellers.
This woman was a woman. Yeah, she had 3 children in Onitsha. They beat her mercilessly, poured away all her goods, all her wares. What kind of
evidence and instances like that?
Yeah, all the evidence is all over the place. You know, Nnamdi Kanu wrote a letter, a handwritten letter, to tell him, listen, back off from these sit at home, because I think Nnamdi Kanu must have analyzed that this is going to get the struggle, there's going to get them into trouble. And even the way he's talking will not be able to make a case for Nnamdi Kanu. He insulted anybody that comes. His arrogance. 2 weeks ago, he was in Dr. Damage's platform. I told him he insulted me, insulted a couple of people. But I'm not surprised at what's happened today. It is sad, though. I'm not happy. Listen, let's just make it clear. I'm not trying to celebrate that. But it is because he is so hungry. He is so power drunk, power hungry. September 2nd, he's been asking people to bring $10,000. What are you going to do with $10,000? I've been on a show. I'm not a member of the show. I listened. He was asking people to donate to get surface to air missile to bring down planes. So if I'm sitting on a plane going to Nigeria now, because they believe that it's zoo people that are sitting on that plane, then they'll bring down that plane. I don't want that kind of Biafra.
That's another thing. There are some things, right, that should never be said openly. Okay. Except for someone who is really cutting for attention here and there, right? There are some certain things that you shouldn't say. There are things I say to people in private here, okay? And I will never come onto my platform and be like, oh, we will, because at the end of the day, it's just going to make mockery. For those who are intelligent enough to see through, it's going to make mockery of whatever you're trying to achieve.
The guy just he lacks patience and wisdom, and he's not even. I think his arrogance got a better part of him, and he doesn't want to listen to anybody. And then I asked him, "Who made you prime minister?" He was incensed, you know. So unfortunately, the guy is going to. There are some people that are still living in denial. They're saying that he was not arrested. Let them keep believing the lie. Maybe in a couple of days, he was going to hit Nigeria. But I personally, what I'm thinking is, Tinubu is an evil genius. He may use him to, when they get him in Nigeria, when he lands in Nigeria, they might just announce, just to pacify the thing, and said, okay, Nnamdi Kanu, you can go. And they will unleash everything that they have in stock for Nnamdi Kanu, because they can't hurt Nnamdi Kanu now. He's like an untouchable. They don't know what to do with him. Now they're going to unleash everything on Simon, because Simon has really dug a hole that he's found himself now. They're going to unleash everything. But
you believe that he's going to be taken to Nigeria? No, I don't believe that.
No. Well, this is my own. I'm wrong, but
let me give you an idea, Tony. Right? Why they are not taking him to Nigeria without breaking some, except if Finland changes some certain laws. Okay, Baba? So, number one, they would first have to find him guilty of whatever. Now they are charging him and the 4 others. Okay, they are charging them for terrorism. And according to the Finnish, law, citizenship law, so if you are not, like Finnish yourself, right, kind of obtain the citizenship via other third-party stuff, right? So except you are found guilty of terrorism, which he would defend himself until he's finally found guilty. So if they found him guilty, that means they will withdraw his citizenship and deport him. That can take months. You get that now?
Well, I pray.
What they
I
are
pray
going to
he
really
doesn't
hold him
come back.
for is going to be
I pray he
incitement
doesn't.
for terrorism.
Yeah, yeah. I pray he doesn't come back to Nigeria because obviously we know. Yeah, obviously we don't. Nigeria, we don't have a judiciary. That's my worry about him. But whether he should face charges, I believe he has some things to answer for. But bringing him to Nigeria, but the sad thing is that he was warned that listen, this kind of thing could happen. Is already messy enough that Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya and brought back. He was warned, but he didn't want to listen to anybody, and sadly, he's found himself. But this is my own analysis that they might use him as a kind of technical prison swap, if you want to call it that way, if you will. They will release MNK to pacify some people and then hold on to him because they have more evidence against him than Martin Nnamdi Kanu. That's my own take. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Tony. So we have heard from almost everyone, and I know a lot of you who still want to call in, but my time is so fast spent. All right. So the reason for this broadcast tonight is to bring to fore a critical side or a very critical side of the struggle for self-determination. Listen, self-determination struggle is a legit struggle, is legit advocacy. In Nigeria, it has been criminalized, and a lot of people have had enough. There are so many people that want anything to do with Nigeria this time and day to not be peaceful. And I get it. But from my own understanding, even if you start an armed struggle for self-determination, okay, and it leads to like war, this and that, everything is still going to end up on the table where negotiation will take place. So that is why, even if you have this card, don't play all your card. In this day and time, social media, the internet and all that is like a click away from the rest of the world. Everybody sees it. Everyone can develop opinion about your struggle and the rest, right? So there are some certain things that even if you have the intention of, there's something called plausibility. Is it called plausibility of denial or denial plausibility, something like that, okay? Even if you are pushing for a violent struggle along with your struggle, for you to be accepted in this day and time by the world, armed struggle in this way will easily give you up. But some of you don't see it that way, which is all right. And that is why we'll keep having this kind of ends. Nnamdi Kanu was so smart. He had the world at his feet. Nnamdi Kanu was controlling an organization that became so powerful, prominent, and influential in more than 160 countries, the IPOB. And because indigenous people of Biafra is the full meaning of IPOB, every Biafran, every Igbo, and all that has the right to push and fight for the independence of Biafra. But if you are smart enough to understand all other factors that is keeping us in this contraption, right? It is ideal not to play all your cards. Yeah, you may be getting all the accolades and all of that, attention and all that. Always remember, with all that attention comes a bit of, destruction as well. There are those who want you destroyed. And it is ideal for you not to play all your cards, as we have witnessed. So Nnamdi Kanu did not call, right, for the attacks on his disobedient people. All right? He did something, which was he engaged people, including those who disagreed with him. He called them names. Yeah, he did call them names. Said, said a lot of things about them. But he never actually called for the extermination of those that didn't agree with him. So we are living in a world where criminalizing self-determination is a thing. All right? So if the whole thing played out well, in a way, I actually implore us to be smart with our engagement. You don't have to take my word. You don't even have to agree with me. There's something I'm very sure of. If you do not want the world to hold you down when you are fighting, I'm not a freedom fighter. So when you're fighting for a freedom and you want to go that route, the first thing you have to do, right, is to return back to that land. With that, you are in full control of what will be your fate. But if you are not in Nigeria and you want to fight for the freedom of those inside the contraption, you might be having a lot more than those you think you are fighting in that contraption. So in this case, there's so many interests at stake. So don't play into their hands. And we hope that a lot of you, a lot of us, will reflect on this if it makes any sense to you. And if it doesn't, I actually have to wish you what you wish yourselves. So there is a saying in Yoruba, Afọgbọ́n ọlọ́gbọ́n ṣọgbọ́n, àfi ọgbọ́n ọlọ́gbọ́n ṣe ọgbọ́n, òun ni ó jẹ́ kí a pe àwọn àgbàlagbà ní wèrè. Right? So I'll leave you to that, or with that. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening or night, and I shall see you again on Mayegun's Diary Political. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Mayegun Diary, Diary Political. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary, Mayegun #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìí yẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Presido bá rúfin o.
Máyégún màmí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún màmí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún màmí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún màmí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún màmí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n níran.